White people do not like to talk about their political affiliations. It's a secret. You ever ask a white guy who's voting for you? Hey, Bob, who are you going to vote for? Dave, whoa. Well, take it easy now. Take it easy. So anyway, I was f***ing my wife in her ass, right? And I mean, it was something else. Yeah, but who are you voting for? Dave, come on with the voting. I'm trying to tell you about my wife. You're asking me all these personal questions.
All right. I never listen. I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the Dumb Zone.
Hey, Jake. How's it
Dan.
going?
Fantastic.
That's great.
It's
How
early
are you,
voting
Blake?
time.
What?
It's early voting time.
Did you vote already?
You know what? I went yesterday and I opted to run and do sauna.
Instead of vote?
Yeah, because it's at the same place. But there were a ton of people there for first day of early voting. And a ton of people in the parking lot there to convince you, like we talked about yesterday.
Then they have nothing to anticipate if you vote already.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just you can't gear up. Are you really sure? Maybe you should look at the issues a little harder.
Yeah.
Why are you voting so early?
That's a great point. It's a great point. But I don't know if you've noticed, we are just flooded with signs over in the affluent burbs. Like they're everywhere. Like I'm staying close to where you are right now, and
I feel that's a huge. Is
the ROI has to be so low.
I was going to say, is that changing anyone's mind, or I guess it is imprinting it in your brain if you've seen a certain name.
But it's like the same sign 20 times in like a 30-foot, length. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It feels like one would do the same trick. It's kind of like Buc-ee's and billboards. Like, do we need one every exit?
I did notice that last
We know you're
time.
there.
As soon as I passed the Buc-ee's, I saw a billboard for the next Buc-ee's in 89 miles.
Yep.
We only have one sign, but we hung it up here in our studio. Did you notice we're in the studio today?
I did.
Our very rare home away from home, but we hope to make it a more common occurrence. But yeah, that's from who? Letty?
That's right.
Not Letty.
Letty from the Bang Bus.
Bang Bus Letty. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gave us our new sign, and we're hanging it up here. And wherever we go, this sign for sale, this sign for lease, because we don't want to sell to you. We want to use it at your business.
Yeah, we need it back.
Yeah.
We are open.
For
business.
Now he's excited.
I'm embracing the role now.
Anyway, we're recording this live to videotape on Tuesday, so we'll be on YouTube if you're listening on the audio thing, whatever that is.
It's a podcast.
We're also on video today,
if
you want to go check us out on YouTube. Everyone except you, Josh. Sorry.
He's not the only blind person alive, but...
Do you think he's our only blind listener?
That's a good question. I guess I'm not really sure what the percentage of the population that's blind is.
Do we have a deaf listener?
I would doubt that. But
they don't just read the transcript?
And also, like I've told you before, I don't think he's real blind.
Just laughing their ass off?
He's fake blind.
He sees the Cowboys game better than I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, not only are we in the studio for Business Wednesday Eve, we have other people in the studio with us. We have two guests. I was going to say special guests, but I don't know how they would like that. One is our old friend now. He once visited us in the Dragon Den high atop my garage. And we actually have a clip to introduce him. Let's roll the clip, video man / audio man. It's our good friend Lawrence Rosales.
So, but did you guys know that last year Oklahoma legalized medicinal marijuana? Were you guys aware of that? Right? You realize that means Oklahoma's ahead of us, right? You realize the same year Oklahoma made it legal to smoke weed, that same year, Texas made it legal to open carry a sword. I don't have a joke for that. That's just a fact, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fact. I think we can all agree that a sword is the most aggressive way to let people know that you're a virgin, right? It's like, I brought my sword with me. Like, I fucking bet you did, Kyle. I bet you did. Like, get out of here with your fucking sword.
Aggie name, right?
Lawrence Rosales.
Oh, yeah. That's the great Lawrence Rosales, everybody.
We all know Lawrence.
He's back.
Right?
I'm back.
He's
I brought
back.
a buddy with me.
And you brought a buddy.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that sweet?
Very
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
Or Vinnie Corrales, roll the clip if we can. We have a video/audio clip.
I love that sweater.
We actually had to reintroduce condoms back into our sex life recently. Had to reintroduce condoms. We had a pregnancy scare. You know, we're both minorities, very fertile people, so it was bound to happen. So we did the responsible thing and brought back condoms into the old sex life. And it is rough. It is rough. The best way I can describe it is like, imagine doing like fentanyl-laced heroin for like 5 years. And then one day being like, let's see what this CBD is all about. I feel nothing and I want my money back.
That's Vinnie Corrales.
Hey.
Yeah.
Stand-up
What's up,
comedian,
gang?
and apparently friend of Lawrence Rosales.
How do you feel about the clips? It's never like the one I would have chosen. Yours, I feel like yours was better than mine, and
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I felt resentment built immediately.
We are criticizing Blake now.
It's fine.
I like my clip.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I heard that they made a drop of what I said to Blake.
Not just the drop.
Not just a drop.
There's a whole song now,
Oh, there's a whole song now?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
use that out of the break.
and it slaps. Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was made aware of this, and then yesterday Blake was like texting me all the information, and I was like, yeah, Blake does do stuff.
Thank
because-
you.
Yeah, that was kind of mean to
Thank
me,
you.
and I
He does do
apologize,
something.
Blake. Yeah.
Just picks the wrong clip.
Yeah.
We talk about sword guys a lot.
Sword guys, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my contention that the Venn diagram of sword guy and guy who probably owns or has owned a reptile opaque.
Yeah, no,
It's
for
just
sure.
the same guy.
Yeah.
Like if he's got a blade, he's probably had a gecko, a salamander, something of the sort.
I think we could add like selling weed to high school
Yes,
children, even though he's probably in his 30s.
without a doubt.
Work
Yeah.
at a pet store.
Yeah, without a
for
doubt.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has some GameStop stock. You know, one of these kinds of guys. You know?
Smart guy.
He's going to the moon.
Yeah.
Growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy AMC.
Yeah. Lots of opinions about the
sorry, Dan.
Cybertruck.
The
Yeah,
Cybertruck.
Blake told me to buy AMC when it's at its height. So that's what Blake does.
We're a little
is-
late on AIM.
And what I do is take financial advice from Blake,
Yeah. Probably shouldn't.
who's whatever.
I'm here.
Owns a bunch of shit coins.
He is here.
Shiba will have its day.
Do you think?
So you guys have shows coming up?
Yeah. Yeah. I've got big shows. I texted a club owner yesterday and told him, hey, I'm going to be on this super famous podcast. So give me a weekend. And he did.
Okay.
So I got to shout him out first. It's July 4th through the 6th. I'm headlining TK's Comedy Club, just down the street from the Addison Improv. It's kind of it's run by TK and his wife. It's amazing. I'll be there this Friday as well. They got a speakeasy after midnight. The food's actually good. And I've also got a plug, then we can get on with whatever, is the May 9th headlining Comedy Arena, downtown McKinney. Please come to these shows so they don't get mad at me.
So were you telling it? Were we talking off the air? Maybe this is off air talk, but you're like you don't have an agent. People just have to reach out to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, like I've been around 9 years now in the city, so it's like whenever you get down to it, there's like 10 of us that can like headline a room. I feel like, so it's like once you're kind of in that circle, you're just kind of a known commodity.
Okay. Would you call yourself a regional comic?
Regional for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you can be booked outside of DFW.
Yeah. No, I spent years on the road.
Okay.
Years and years on the road.
You're like, hell yeah.
I
book
mean, that's how you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
addicted to meth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think
That's
so.
right. That's it was meth,
Yeah.
not heroin.
Yeah.
Is heroin meth? What is the difference?
Oh, very different.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
One goes up,
Floor
one
to
goes down.
ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you
you-
done heroin?
No. I somehow avoided heroin. I think
That's too bad.
I'm scared of needles.
Yeah.
Very scared of needles. You know, it's like I want to party, but I don't want to like, you know, stab myself with anything. You know?
Yeah.
I just want to stay up for a couple days writing jokes.
Yeah, which is a weird thing, you know, when you're doing hard drugs, you know. But
What were you addicted to, Vinny?
I'm addicted to Rubik's cubes.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a good bit.
It is a thing. Yeah.
It's a good bit.
not a bit.
Did you bring one?
You anywhere?
Does this look like a bit to you?
Yeah.
He brought it.
He brought your
I keep it with me at all times.
He got robbed one time by guys, and all he had in his pocket was a Rubik's cube, and I think it's one of my favorite
It's-
stories.
yeah,
Although it
saved
might
my
be
life.
traumatic for him.
Brought a
yeah.
cube to a gunfight, saved my life.
Yeah.
How did what?
They
what
had to
happened?
have been impressed.
Yeah, tell us.
I think they thought they robbed a retarded person.
It's,
They thought. That was my opinion. Like if you robbed somebody and all they had was a Rubik's cube, you'd be like, "Oh my god, he's
But not
autistic."
just a
There's
We gotta
something
go.
wrong.
Like
Yeah.
a perfectly aligned Rubik's Cube to your own specs.
It was. I mean, it was.
not like
it
you
was
just
probably
solved
mixed
it.
up, but it was this exact cube though.
And how did that go?
Yeah,
They didn't take it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was basically that. Like they were like, you know, give me your wallet, and I was like, I just got this new jacket. I didn't know where like all the wallets are. Still learning where all my pockets are. So it's got to be here somewhere. And then I felt my cube, and I pulled it out, and they were just like, hey, looked at each other. He looked at me, and he was like, I can't do this. I have a brother who's autistic.
Oh, nice.
They had a gun to your head. If
It was
I'm
a
not
gun to my.
mistaken.
I was on my knees. Yeah, I got.
He
yeah.
could see like
I
the
got pistol
silhouette of
whipped.
his wife
Yeah,
in the because you were right by your apartment.
right in our courtyard. When me and Laurent still lived together. Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I was looking at it, I was like, my wife is sleeping right there. My dog's asleep. I'm about to die right now. Saved by the cube. Hey, come and take it, baby.
It's few things I can think of that are more disarming than that.
Yeah,
Like-
that's great.
Like pulling out a perfectly designed Rubik's Cube.
I would have
Like
made
they
you,
looked at you like you're like Thanos or something. Like, what is this? This guy solved the universe.
Yeah,
here.
they ended up just taking my mail.
Why?
To pay his bills, to apologize for what they had done to this kid. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything to promote for you right now, or
Well,
you
I
guys
think
got,
I think Lawrence left a show off of his upcoming
Oh
shows.
yeah. Oh, please, I mean, Vinny. I think we wanted Vinny. I wanted Vinny here because he's running the best local shows right now. You know, we all exist inside of the club system, and Vinny started doing his own thing at these bars in Plano and in Garland, and they pack out. Like we all want to be on these shows.
Yeah, they're called Cowabunga Comedy. We have Cowabunga Nights. We started doing them in downtown Plano, like K and 15th, over at a place called McNeil's. But then we just kind of outgrew McNeil's because like every month, they're just monthly shows and they're free shows. Every month, people would just come earlier and earlier. People would show up like 2 hours early to make sure they can get a seat. And we just got too big for the room, so we moved it down to the Fillmore. I don't know if you guys know the Fillmore pub. Right there, right? Yeah, I mean, it's standing room only every month, and it feels like a club. It's like a club environment. Like everybody's there for comedy, free show. You know, it's still a bar show, so you still gotta you still gotta bring it and make them pay attention to you. But once you do, I mean, it's magic. There's magic moments in there, and now we just started to be able to film them. We filmed our last one. We're filming this one coming up, but last Wednesdays of the month at the Fillmore pub. And then we got a new room that we just opened in downtown Garland, historic downtown Garland, at the Intrinsic Barbecue Smokehouse Brewery. You guys know Intrinsic? It's similar thing. I think that one's third Wednesdays of the month. And then we have a bastard child in McKinney that we do on second Wednesdays of the month that we're trying to get rid of. So I'm not going to mention that location.
I just watched. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Nice.
Tomorrow night at the Fillmore, yeah.
Oh, there's one tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'm not on that one.
No, you're on the Garland one.
You know, the last time I did the Fillmore, you just threw me up. Like I just did like a guest spot. Just did 5 minutes working on new stuff, and I didn't do great. And I remember one of the guys that was there with his girlfriend. I see him at Planet Fitness every morning, and we just like kind of don't make eye contact with each other. It's real awkward, but it's just getting to relive it every morning is great.
Oh, because you think he remembers from?
No, he definitely remembers.
Definitely,
Yeah,
okay.
because I went and talked to him right before I went up. Because I was like, hey, I see you at Planet Fitness all the time. You know, you're like, it's like that preset cockiness. You're like, hey, we see each other all the time. Watch this, and then you just kind of don't do great.
I just watched this Steve Martin documentary on HBO, and a lot of it was about the early days of, half of it was about his stand-up career, and just all the weird places, at least back then, like he used to have to do. Have you guys ever had a really weird place that you had to perform?
Sure. I mean, you've probably performed on Gretchen's bus before.
Oh
right?
yeah, I did perform on a bus. It was like one of those buses that drives you around the city, and like so people paid money to be on this bus, and like you were supposed to do stand up in between the stops as the bus was moving.
Oh,
Like I said, I feel like being deported in like the coolest way ever. It's like I'll leave, but only on a party bus. And yeah, that was pretty traumatic. I mean,
So literal stand-up, or are you just riffing on what you see, or
people were trying, like they had like 3 comics on there, and people are trying to do stand up. But I think if you've been around long enough, like instincts kick in, and you're like, this is not a place to do material. Like we're just riffing. I was just making fun of the bus, the whole situation. And I ended up having a good time. But yeah, there's
Get paid?
Yeah.
Okay, not just tips at the end or something?
Not just tips at the end, yeah. And
we experienced something, I don't know if it's similar, but it was very annoying because it wasn't an actual comic, but I made them do the TMZ tour whenever we were in
I
LA.
loved it.
I
Just
got a lot
because of the
shit
great
for that.
audio we got out of it.
Yeah, but you know, it's somebody trying to be funny at every stop. Like, here's Mount Sinai Hospital. And it was brutal, and I felt for the person for having to try to entertain at that particular venue.
Yeah, at least with this bus, I think the people knew that there was comedy.
comedy.
Like they were buying tickets for
Okay,
the thing. Yeah.
that helps.
Did you ever do that Stilettos gig?
Is that the strip club?
It's the all-black strip club heading out to Fort Worth, and they would go comic, dancer. So
Wow.
people would just come to the stage for the dancer, and then the comic would go up, and people would just like repel, and then they would just come back. Really, really, really dumb show.
People don't realize the environment that comedy like requires. Like even doing at the state fair, I'll do the state fair every year, perform there, and it's gotten better when they moved it to the Rose Garden. But back in the day, they would just have you standing on a stage, you know, like 50 feet away from everybody, and they're just kind of eating a corn dog, and you're trying to tell them jokes. It's
During the
miserable.
day.
Yeah. But it's way cooler now. Please
I mean,
check
what
it out.
we do is obviously not like stand up, but there are definitely times where we've had remotes where we're coming in fired up about the Mavericks or something, and people are like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, and it's so
Very often.
uncomfortable. Yeah, quite often actually.
Yeah.
But if you'd like us at your business, folks.
Right.
Email thedumbzone@gmail.com.
We'll be there for you. We can be bought.
I love that you guys just roll in like some kind of indie band, you know, just kind of set up, start rocking out.
That's right, yeah.
It's a new paradigm, Lawrence.
Yeah, I can tell.
Or something. I don't know. Hey, let's do this. How's your levels? Are we good on the audio? So we have some viewer mail today. I want to start with, so I told you the other day, Jake, or I promised you, I believe. Let's pull up this. So we usually broadcast, I will tell Vinny this, and you know those who are just tuning in. We often broadcast from high atop my garage. Like after we left our radio job, we ended up podcasting out of our garage, above my garage, and then hopefully we're moving operations into this nice studio with security and parking and all that kind of stuff.
Passes.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
But people will just find my address and mail me stuff. And so I'll start with mail, and then we can go on to viewer mail.
Okay.
Well, I guess this is all viewer mail. This is, of course, just something somebody's trying to give us for the studio. We're big fans, guys.
Oh, fantastic.
Of octopuses.
Yeah, octopi, octopus.
I believe octopuses, though, we found is the way you're supposed to say that.
I believe it's actually a towards type situation where they're both correct.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay.
Big fan, though, yeah. You
I
guys
like
ever
to say
watch the,
octopuses because then people will correct you, and you will say, let's pull out the dictionary.
Did you guys ever watch
Or the
Octopus Teacher?
Let's pull that out.
No.
No, never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Great documentary.
This guy tries to have sex with an octopus.
Well, that might be your conclusion.
There
at
are
the end.
undertones that he was trying to
but they're so
to
amazing.
fuck the octopus.
Since I watched this documentary, I will not eat calamari.
Absolutely not.
Ooh, really?
No.
I'm
Like,
scared
I
of
feel
you.
like
I'll
that
walk
would be
out
like
if I see it on the
eating
menu.
Isn't it squid?
It would be like, well, I don't know. It's the same thing. They look very similar.
They know each other for sure.
Yeah. So that
like the smartest animal on
For
earth.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. And they've been around for a very long time.
it'd be like eating a monkey, I think.
Yeah.
If you were to eat a monkey, you wouldn't do that, would you?
I would not. No.
No. Kind of a. Anyway, or a dog.
I would probably eat a dog.
Oh,
Over an octopus.
Hot opinion.
100%.
Because octopuses are very smart.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's really just all about the level of intellect. My dog, very dumb.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to do it,
I love that there's this dumb to delicious scale.
there has to be.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah.
There has
What do
to
you?
be.
I gave you a big giant box. Somebody FedExed this huge box over to my.
I'm going to try not to just rip it open like a child because you guys got all mad at me.
Man,
last
I think
week.
about you all the time when I open mail.
Yeah, and now my wife knows that you guys know. Because she saw me open something the other day and was like, you know, we could use that box. We're moving. And I've just ripped it completely down the side. All right, what do we have here? It's, it almost looks like a board game. Okay. It is, in fact, a board game. The name of this board game is Squeeze the Juice. It is
Oh, God, it is OJ.
apparently an OJ-themed board game.
Wow.
It says, the game where lawyers get rich and justice comes at a hefty price. There's Ito up top of the dancing.
Okay,
Itos.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. Do we take all this out right now? Or
No,
what?
I
There's
guess
a lot of pieces.
We'll look into that and see if it's worthy of.
Does it have an OJ token or
Yeah,
something?
what's
Well, like, yeah, let's look at the
what
board.
is the
here.
board?
The board has a number of different. I don't know if you can even see any of those, but
Looks like sidebars or checkpoints or something.
that's
Cards
right.
for new evidence.
Yeah.
Cards for press.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thanks, viewer.
Kind of like
These
OJ
are strangers that just send you all this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there are valued patrons.
Much of the stuff here.
Yeah.
I don't call them.
In fact, let's try to find something that wasn't sent to us. Like, I guess these Dumb Zone cups.
I'm pretty sure Rob bought my copy of Manufacturing
Manufacturing Consent.
Consent.
But all the
My favorite
Sinbad
book.
videos and
Manufacturing
Sinbad's
Consent.
book.
Noam
I love that.
Chomsky or something?
Yeah.
You guys are
It's not about
stand-up
rape.
comedians, so certainly you've read Sinbad's
People have changed the word
Oh,
consent
yeah, no,
to-
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wait, which book?
book. Sinbad's book.
The comedian Sinbad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
I mean, that's every stand-up comedian usually will point to who's the greatest stand-up comedian, who influenced you. Certainly you guys would be no different than to say Sinbad, number one.
Sinbad,
Sure.
number one.
Carlos
And then you got
Mencia,
your
number two. Yeah.
Chappelle, Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah, we do have a
Sinbad
Sinbad blanket.
Oh,
If you guys,
wow.
yeah.
Do you feel like I made that? I absolutely didn't. Somebody mailed us that.
Who
I
is
think
this
it's upside down.
Somebody mailed
It's
us
Sinbad.
the.
Oh,
look
it's
at the stuff
Sinbad. Oh,
behind
my
Blake.
God. That is one of my favorite episodes of It's Always Sunny. Is
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With him and Rob
Sinbad
Thomas.
and Rob
Fever
Thomas.
Dream?
Yeah, the Fever Dream. Yeah, I think of it often. Yeah.
We have a.
Made me miss Literotica. You guys miss Literotica? Anybody? Okay.
I don't know what that is.
You don't remember Literotica?
It's like beating off to a book,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, Literotica.
Yeah, before the internet was fast, we had to just read.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have a.
Oh, those
Lot
the
of
Twin
work.
Towers, dude?
Yeah, of course they are.
Oh, my God.
What'd you think you were in for today?
Oh, man, I didn't know somebody had that model.
Because Jake lives near. I guess one of our other pictures will.
Yeah. So I live in Grapevine, and near there, down the street
picture.
from my house, there's a Tex-Mex restaurant and an office park.
This picture, Vinny?
And for some reason outside of it, there's a 9/11 memorial.
That's very Texas, you know. We just got to get everything in the same place here. you
Well,
know?
since we used to make fun of Jake for living near that, or it for existing, because why does Grapevine have a 9/11 memorial? Well, apparently across the nation there are
They're everywhere.
thousands
Oh,
of
those
9/11 memorials.
The place, I think Denton just got robbed or something. Their 9/11 memorial was like.
It was Grapevine.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
A few of the stones are actually
The
missing.
Stones, yeah.
We've been on the case, so call us with any tips.
Is it from that place?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Great margaritas.
See, that's
yeah.
why you got to study history. You know, these kids don't even know what it is.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And they actually put a caption on the top there. You can see it's there's like a little plate that says, "Never forget the chips and salsa."
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That is a great bit.
Yeah.
We've
That
never
is a great
reached out
bit.
to the owner.
That's a
the owner
great
has
taste, actually.
contacted
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
and
Contact
Very
us.
spicy
He wants us
taste.
to do a show out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
I kind of want an all 9/11 restaurant now.
That actually exists.
Oh, really?
There's a that's what we should be doing. There's a place in Fort Worth called Bar 911.
Oh,
and
but It's celebrating it. It's not memorializing it, not tongue in cheek. Having fun.
Well, I think actually they opened the bar the morning of 9/11, and it was not, the guy. It's not like the guy was predicting it.
Yeah.
I think just at that moment he decided to pivot to making the entire bar's theme 9/11 theme.
What does that 9/11 theme mean?
Opportunity strikes when opportunity
strikes. How does that translate
strikes,
into decor?
I know there's like a lot of pictures and stuff.
Yeah, and they have a cocktail called the Falling Man. You can get some chips and thermite.
Just a flaming Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Their burgers are in the shape of the Pentagon. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
The place exists. I'm telling you. Look it up.
Gotta check this out.
Bar 9/11.
So one more piece of mail, and yeah, these are all. My wife doesn't know what's going on ever. She's like,
Right.
"What is this?" This one is addressed to effing Dan. So that's me.
Assume that's you. Yeah.
And this is from Chris. I have been emailing with Chris, and I knew he was sending this, and I have to open it like you because it's kind of got a piece of tape on the bottom.
Yeah.
But he said, "Okay, I want to make yeah. Okay, here it is. This is he has a license plate that he got made because he was a big fan of our former place of employment called The Ticket, the radio station in Dallas. That's where we worked for many years. And they refer to their listeners as P1s. He said, "Do you want this to hang in your studio?" I said, "I want to hang anything in the studio." Yes.
Sure.
We're allowed to do whatever we want. We can hang anything in here we want. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking a picture of that. I'm a huge collector of vanity plates. I have like a collection of like 4,000 vanity plates on my Instagram.
Speaking of 9/11, as we often will.
Can I say one more thing about that restaurant?
Yeah.
Slicing vegetables with box cutters. I missed the chance, and I just couldn't let it go.
No,
I don't want to lay in bed and think about that. Right.
I saw a post on Twitter. Somebody had a Porsche 911, like the Carrera, I guess. And I love that Vinny's like cuddled up with this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the vanity plate was Bush did.
Bush.
Okay.
Did 9/11.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I support
that's a good
that.
one.
I support that.
Oh, I would have
Very
loved to
good.
get that picture. Yeah.
It's very good.
Just imagine Bush doing a painting of that car.
That's what we need. We need to get a Bush painting in here.
Oh yeah,
that would be
nice.
great. Yeah.
How much do those cost? Would you rather have a Bush painting or like a John
Insurance?
Hinckley Jr. or
Oh.
who else? Or what?
Or insurance? If we're making company decisions.
yeah. What should we pay for?
first? Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's buy that Bush painting.
I'll put it on our Amazon wish list.
Ooh,
It'll be the first
yeah.
thing we put on it.
I like that. It's funny that you'll run into like influencer ladies who do that.
Yeah.
You wear this, Dan?
Oh yeah, I see that too.
Like the first time I ever saw it was like, hey, I'm a teacher and here's what the kids need. And now it's like, hey, I have a perfect butt and
Yeah.
here's a bag.
That's
I
my
want.
wish list.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
just put up a list of stuff that you can just buy for them.
And yeah, and this creepy old guy will buy her a Coach bag for like $600 just to get a picture of her feet.
Pay pigs, they call them.
Pay pigs.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's just guys who are getting nothing in return to just buy women's stuff.
Ooh, femdom.
There you go.
Or findom? Financial domination? Is that what that is?
I like it.
Findom?
Findom.
So
I mean, I don't know. I've heard of it. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll save the viewer mail birthdays for our birthday segment.
Okay.
Toward the end of the show, if you sent in your birthday.
I have one thing for viewer mail.
Okay.
It is the clip I put in there, Rob, that says like soap opera clip. This is from the group chat, and I don't even know what this show is, but I believe it's one of my buddies who works from home, and he just happened to have, daytime television on while he was working. And he filmed this from his, I guess it's on Paramount Plus, maybe it's on CBS. This is one of the more insane soap opera clips I've ever seen, and I want you all to narrate it, and the people who are watching can just watch it.
What?
God,
So his love, Sheila, had only 9 toes? Is what's going on here?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I've been piecing it together in my head. The idea, like, they've got the wrong person.
Yeah.
but it's too late.
Lucky he was there.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess not.
Well, no, it's too late, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see the flames start to engulf the body.
We've all been
He says,
there.
stop.
Yeah.
Stop. And then the mortician, I suppose, is like, no, it's too late, you know? She's already on fire.
Why does that guy have like a butcher's apron on? Like he's going to grill it or something.
I know, right? Yeah, that's a little dramatic, but...
A little dramatic. That's the dramatic part.
Look at him.
Yeah, his chest is dramatic.
Yeah, he's got resistant gloves on, too.
Yeah.
So is it your bit or what?
I've been laughing at that for like 2 weeks now.
But that's the boys' text thread, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it you or who was it that was saying, like, that's the last real free place for true
Yeah, I don't know if you
pure
guys
comedy?
feel that way or not, but
For
it
what?
was Ethan Strauss who wrote a column about this once upon a time, like a year or so ago. But yeah, I'm a pretty progressive guy, I would say. But I don't want my wife seeing the boys group chat and seeing what goes on when it's just the fellas. Like stuff that I would never tweet, that my friends would never tweet. But the group chat, it feels like the last vestige of like the playground.
Right, pure comedy.
Yeah, we're
pure,
just not worried about what anybody thinks about it.
unfiltered.
Yeah,
You, if you're averse to saying the F word for gay in real life,
sure. Yeah,
that you might have no problem doing that in the group chat because it's just for the boys.
By the way, women,
Yeah.
women absolutely do this as well.
You think?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
What are they talking about?
Well, you probably, but also just I've read. I'm pretty sure my wife had like a group chat because people will title the group chat, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and hers was like cunt nozzles.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Sounds like a fantasy football team name.
Sure
It
do.
does. Like I saw it pop up one time, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
I
He's like,
saw
"Oh,
one of
no,
my wife
nothing."
that was Queef Queens.
Queef
Yeah.
Queef Queens is the one I saw.
Yeah,
See, that feels pretty standard. Cunt nozzles is aggressive. That's
I
my
don't
kind
think
of
she
woman.
came
right
up with it, but
there. Yeah, okay.
she was party to it.
I was just going to
Yeah.
read you some of my group thread that just feels, it's very childish. And I don't think that has any place on our show, but I'm just telling you just to warn you. So one buddy threw in the obituary from the morning news, actually, of Richard Weiner.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a doctor, I think he is actually a podiatrist.
Dick Wiener?
Yeah.
Dr. Dick Weiner passed into the loving arms of his Lord and Savior, blah, 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 at age 78. A gallant 5-month battle with cancer.
Gallant. You don't hear that often.
No.
Oh, gallant.
And I'm not even sure that 5 months counts as gallant.
Yeah, I think you need to be over a year.
Yeah. That is. Yeah. He gave up pretty easy. If we're being honest.
You might have made the
Kind of laid down there.
the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
It says he was born November 7th, 1945, to Adeline and Milton Weiner. Dick was the middle of 5 boys, which
But, okay.
more boys than that, you would have to say, right? But that's my group chat. And they also sent me, so it's a headline from a story. It says ABC13.com. Montgomery County couple charged in string of sex crimes, including child pornography and bestiality.
Mm.
And then the guy that sent this tagged on the luckiest dog in the world. And I had to thumbs up it. I do not disagree.
And I'm with you. That has no place here.
Right.
Absolutely
But
none.
that's what lives on the group chat.
That's right.
So, wives,
Queef
the
queens.
reason we don't want you to grab our phone and scroll through it is not the ladies that are texting us.
No, it's
It's that we don't want you to know
the
who we really are.
anti-Semitism.
So, on today's program,
Just tossing around ideas about a 9/11 restaurant.
Yeah. Like I'm John Taffer. Come up with a new theme.
let's see what I got on the
It'd be
list.
great if John Taffer went to bar rescue at bar 9/11.
On the list for today's program, we do have our news and our Today in History and such. Blake's bag, which I hope we have time to get to, Blake.
Maybe.
I hope.
Blake decorated his wall over there a little bit.
Yeah, is that stuff that has been sent to us or
No.
your own stuff?
People don't send me stuff, so I actually just brought some stuff from home.
I forget he's there. Then he says something.
See?
I know.
It scares me.
You brought your own
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
know.
Why?
Yeah, just because I wanted to decorate my space.
You want it to look like
My space.
your thing.
Yeah. Y'all's looks great.
Like you
And
don't
mine was
feel
just-
like that picture of Jeff Goldblum is
That's-
not really indicative of your like.
That's not me, that's Jake.
really for Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves Jeff Goldblum and
Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
and baby dinosaurs. Jeff Goldblum dressed as Jesus holding a baby dinosaur.
Well lit.
So I put my Silver Slugger Award from last year's softball season up. I don't know if you can see that back there, and then
Raking.
What was your batting average?
I think my ops was over 3,000.
Jesus, I didn't know it could go that high.
But who's counting?
And this is the
Who's keeping their softball up?
It's on their website.
Yeah,
I used to look it up every
very
week.
easily accessible.
All right.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
So yeah, I made this space my
He's
own.
got a Halo thing over there now.
Yeah, it's from the major a couple months ago.
So
I added Raphael to Paige Bucher.
if I'm reading
Paige
between the
Buchers.
lines, though, what's going on here, it's kind of like reading a negative email. You know, like, oh, hey, you guys suck or whatever, and then what's that going to do? That's going to spur a bunch of people to respond, oh, no, or you retweet someone that hates you.
You're great, actually.
You know, yes, and then you'll get a ton of
You guys do
tweets,
that?
like support.
I only have IG. I don't do any
And
other
people are
social medias.
pretty nice on there
Yeah, for
in general.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
But Blake is
I
mentioning
do
that
get
no
called
one
autistic
sends
a lot.
him stuff, and
Yeah.
now guess
Yeah, so
what?
exactly.
People are going to send Blake stuff for his corner.
want a blanket.
And you're
I want
brilliant.
a blanket too.
I
I
love
think
it.
it's a brilliant move.
I like getting gifts.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Bug chasers. Well, no, they are. They like getting gifts too.
You guys know about that?
What is this?
Gift givers
And-
and bug chasers. Bug chasers like getting gifts. Go
Bug
ahead.
chasers. What are bug chasers?
Well, there was a Rolling Stone article some 20 years ago. It was at the tail end of the AIDS epidemic, and there was a story, I believe it was Rolling Stone, about two different subsets of people, primarily gay males, gift givers and bug chasers. So there were some men who wanted to have AIDS because they found a romantic appeal to it.
Oh, okay.
They were bug chasers, and they needed to find
So Dallas Buyers Club or something.
gift
They
givers.
just
Someone
wanted,
with
they
it,
just wanted
yeah.
someone to call him gallant at the end.
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
Right.
Gallon effort.
Um,
Oprah probably did a segment.
I was going to say, is
Yeah,
that
it's
like
very
with
Oprah-ish.
Satanic Panic and
Yeah,
Rainbow Parties?
Yeah.
It's also the plot of the movie Kids, which was pretty traumatic,
Dude, that movie,
right? See,
How old
just
are
took
you,
the air out of Jake.
Vinny?
33.
Okay. Have you ever seen it?
No, I know the MGMT song though.
Oh man,
No. This movie, like I remember the first time I ever went to New York City with my family. Have you never seen it, Dan?
No, I don't know what you're saying.
Oh man,
And like
it's one
by
of the
the
best.
time I
well,
went,
no.
it was like post Giuliani, you know?
Yeah,
They'd cleaned everything up. So I'm like, I just assumed that this is what New York City was like. That movie is traumatic.
The movie
And-
called Kids?
Yeah.
yeah.
There's,
A guy has AIDS, and then you follow him through the city as he sleeps with numerous different people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's like,
but it's very well done. I mean,
it's Harmony Korine, is it not?
I don't remember. I mean, whenever I was like in high school, it was like one of the films that like people would be watching all the time.
Yeah.
Like that and Requiem for a Dream. I feel like then you get older.
I
and
made
you
him watch
see it.
that.
It's traumatic. Like I'm traumatized by that movie.
Yeah.
Requiem's great. I loved it. No, we were supposed to have like Marlon Wayans in studio.
Whichever Wayans it is. Yeah.
Whatever Wayans is in that movie.
That's a no way racist, by the way. They're brothers. Siblings.
Yeah, because he did Hyenas recently. Yeah,
Yeah.
He did what?
I think he did Hyenas recently.
Yeah,
Marlon from Scary Movie?
Yeah, about a year ago.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how we
yeah.
were going to
Was that the
reduce
time?
him
Yeah,
like
that
that.
was the time.
Yeah.
That's
And he bailed.
I'm trying to make sure I get the
I watched this movie one night. It's sticking with me. It's haunting me.
Yeah.
And then the guy didn't even show up. And I'm
Oh.
like, oh, okay, great. Now I can't sleep for a week.
Ass
But
to ass. Ugh.
Ass to ass.
one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen.
I don't think I could watch it anymore.
No.
Because you have a kid and you're soft.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to call this sports.
Hell yeah.
Because I have a... And you might think, oh, are they going to preview the Cowboys draft? Are they going to get you ready for Game 2 of the Mavs series? Perhaps they will follow up on the disappointing showing from the Dallas Stars last night. No,
Lots to build on, but yeah, no.
those aren't things I'm going to do here. What we're doing here is we are paying tribute to a great man who did a lot for a lot of people and once had a board game made about him. O.J. Simpson died last week. We're all familiar with O.J. Simpson.
He did play sports.
Why did the good die young?
Definitely played sports.
He did play sports.
So this is the story of something we've been fascinated by for years, and we're going to bring it back up. So when he died, we played some audio on the program where he did it was questionable. We couldn't really understand why, but for some reason he did a cable access 1-hour show many years ago, well after his
the trial.
Well after the trial, and was it after he actually did time in prison? Maybe before.
I think it was before the memorabilia kidnapping.
But somehow he got himself on this cable access show, and there was a bunch of prank callers. One of the callers was a guy that we knew. He had prank called the ticket a few times. He had some legendary pranks. His name was Sweaty Jen Olsen Guy. Because Jen Olsen, a former sports reporter here in DFW, this guy alleged that every time she was on camera, she looked really sweaty. So I don't understand why, but that's the guy's name was Sweaty Jen.
That part's immaterial, but yes.
Okay.
That is what he went by.
And if you remember, so last week when we were trying to come up with some of this audio, the only audio we could find was a small montage put together by TMZ after OJ fielded some calls, had some prank calls, and then all I could find was half of the Sweaty Jen Olsen guy prank call, guy who used to call the ticket, and it was just being played by Kimmel on Kimmel.
Right.
So we had lost that audio. So that's when I got with Blake. You want to know what does Blake do? Well, Blake is
that blanket.
He's
it's comfy.
He knows that internet on you. So what Blake did is search for. I said, you know what? I got to find Sweaty Jen Olsen guy. I got to find that full call, but I can't find it anywhere. Let's look it up. So we looked into why was OJ on I don't know if it was a sports talk show, but it was like some kind of a 1-hour cable access show.
Yeah, and just as a quick aside, was hosted by Kate Delaney, the sports princess, who actually we were reminded, and I knew this, I guess I just didn't mention it, she did like some fill-in work on the ticket at one point in time. Like I'm pretty sure at one point they wanted her to pair with Bob.
Really? Before I got there?
I don't think I'm totally off base on this, but she was definitely in the mix. As far as, in that whole, there was the fabulous sports babe, there was the sports princess. Yeah.
At some point in every show, I take off my sweatshirt. I don't know. I just get hot, and then I'm probably going to get cold again.
It's okay.
Anyway.
If you need a blanket.
That's right.
Find another one.
Sinbad. Look how great that Sinbad does.
It does. It does.
Like, that's what it was made for. I wonder if he could fold it.
It looks so good on camera.
Fold it when there's no head so that you're the Sinbad head.
So it's mine?
Yeah, fold it down just to see if your head can. There you go.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
That is
Props.
perfect.
I like it. Yeah.
All right, so we kind of researched that. So
I'm never not calling you Sinbad now.
Kate Delaney was a former sports talk host in the city of Dallas. She would go on to work for WFAN as well in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But she used to host like the Ranger Report or the post-game show for the Rangers with Buzz, I believe, back in the very early 2000s. So this is now 2007. And Kate Delaney somehow lands OJ. So Blake did find a video. I want to play you cut one. We're going to pause it in a pretty soon in Video Man because something that she says really gets me excited. So a couple of these clips will be on video as well, and the first one is. So this is Kate Delaney kind of setting it up. So OJ has a book out. It's called, or he's going to have a book out called If I Did It.
Remarkable.
I don't know if you guys realize that actually existed.
That's bold.
And I guess this is his promotional tour, a cable access station somewhere in Texas, hosted by Kate Delaney. She lands like the most famous guy in America to sit in studio with her for an hour. Let's play cut one.
And now, a Market News First exclusive. OJ
Market
takes the
News
stand.
First.
Here's Kate Delaney.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first of a 4-part conversation with O.J. Simpson. No holds barred. We'll talk about everything. And
all right, so that's the first thing we learn.
4 parts?
This is not, we thought it was a 1-hour sports interview.
What?
This is a 4-part
Expose.
It's a 4 hours of Kate Delaney.
I'm getting to the bottom of it.
4 different days.
Yeah, not with Ted Koppel.
She has
Not
different
with-
outfits. He has different outfits. Like, it actually, how do we miss this? I've put together and you'll hear it in some of the audio I have. How did we miss this? It was Cowboys training camp.
Oh, okay.
We were in San Antonio because he will reference Barry Bonds chasing Hank Aaron. And at that time, I was friends with Mike Bassick, a pitcher for the Washington Nationals, and Bassick ended up giving up the home run that Barry Bonds. I talked to Bassick before, the day before he gave up the home run. Like, Bonds didn't hit the home run, and I called Bassick and I said, tomorrow you have to serve him one up. He's like, dude, I can't do that. And
don't worry.
He ended.
I
Yeah.
also have like a 6.2.
yeah. I think that just.
I think it'll probably take care of itself.
All worked itself out.
You know what's crazy though is that that OJ starts mentioning Barry Bonds in this or whatever. Like, it's just like him on Twitter.
Oh yeah, he's got
Just the
thoughts
hot
on
topics
everything
of the day.
It's amazing.
you know?
So let's just let them set up. What are they doing? Let's just get some setup from Kate Delaney.
No holds barred. We'll talk about everything. And guess what? You get to talk to OJ at the tail end of this show. I can hardly wait. We've been talking about this for a while. Now, finally, the day is here. OJ, thanks for coming on the show. We certainly appreciate you coming here on Market News First. And, of course, the obvious question, and people have been asking me this all around the country the last couple of days, why Market News First? Why MN1.com?
That is a great question.
There at the same time, a lot had to do with my son because he's in college now and he's really into the internet, and he's talking to me about blogging and stream, and I should get into it so I can answer a lot of questions. You see me get mad sometimes when people are saying things about me on TV that are not true, and he says, Dad, you should get a blog and do it.
Don't get mad.
Also, I had a close friends who've just moved to Texas. Gives me an opportunity to come and see them. And secondly, sometimes you want to have a voice. I'm tired of people talking for me or saying things that I said or purported that I've said things. And when I spoke to you guys, I got the impression that finally I can go on TV and not be cross-examined so much as talk about a lot of things that have happened over the years and give me the opportunity to explain some things and give people an idea of what's really been going on.
So let's take calls.
I'm not going to be cross-examined, but we're going to call it OJ Takes the Stand.
Yeah, no holds barred.
Right. Yeah. And we're going to go to open phones.
And he's basically doing this because his son is on the internet.
He loves it.
And he's telling him, hey, Dad,
he's really into
you should see this internet, man. Let's keep his son in mind as we move forward. So let's just, I'm going to play you some of the audio. I have a ton of stuff cut off. It's incredible.
I'm very excited.
All of this is incredible. Remember, they're going to take calls, but first they're going to talk for like a half hour, and they're going to talk about just the fact that, people out there, most people are on board with me, OJ. Most people.
The public is terrific. It's the media.
Right.
That, and as I said, as the week goes on, we'll get into some pretty specific
Absolutely.
things.
Yeah, we don't want to tell
I'll show
everything.
you just how egregious they can be.
They're egregious.
They are.
The media, apparently. Yes, so that's basic theme that we're going to get throughout this is the public, awesome, they love me. Media, they are skewing everything and making the public say bad things, or some people say bad things. We will now talk about the media. We're talking about the media coverage of his family and whatnot, and he even has some bits he's working on.
And it bothers me because what's that girl named Nancy Disgrace? She
Nancy Disgrace.
Dude,
hell yeah.
He had that locked and loaded.
right after
I can't wait to say
Trump
this.
playbook.
These tactics, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
These tactics.
and it don't hurt me,
Right.
but it does. My daughter's in college. It does bother my daughter. And I always say, if you're going to define me for what I've done over the last 12 years, define me by my kids. My kids are terrific kids. They were both honor students in college.
Yeah.
And they both coincidentally still have their heads.
Yeah.
So
But why are you defining me?
only by those who don't
Yeah.
have their heads.
Their dad beat the system. I think that's something to hang your hat on.
That's true too. Be proud of that.
This was something you said after the criminal trial when you were found not guilty. You said that you were going to try to find the real killer. So instead of trying to prove the innocence, which you know is so tough, what about the whole thing with the real killers? What's happened with that?
Well, it's funny. I mean,
that is funny.
It was certainly I felt that way. Everybody said, I saw him sit there and say that. I never said it because I was never at that press conference. My lawyers said it with my son. But I did feel that way. Right?
Yeah. He'll go back and forth to that quite a few times throughout these few days. That he never actually said that. He's like, officially, I mean, I was thinking that, but find the tape.
It's a great excuse, though, like when they're chasing him on the highway. They're like, are you running from the cops? He's like, no, I'm trying to find the real killer.
That's right. Yeah. As my lawyer told you.
Yeah.
So who does he
at
think,
8 miles per hour?
Who does he think did it?
Do you have any suspicions as
I
to
do,
who it
I
might
do,
be?
but I got to wait a little bit on those. I tell everybody Faye Rusnick had to be involved, and there's one guy because of what a therapist said, there's one guy I think could have been directly involved, but I got to wait for that.
It was Hillary.
The Clinton crime family.
Could have been Hillary. So now, what I want to do is go to the tease we have all been waiting for.
OJ, I think we're gonna step aside here for a second. We're gonna invite you're up for this, right? For people to call in and to field some questions. That's what we said. This is a brand new day in media, so we'll get some calls for sure. 866-495-4122. 866-495-4122.
Wonder, I got to write that number down.
Just figure out if it's still active.
866-495-4122. It might be still active. Maybe, what if Kate answers?
What if OJ answers?
What if OJ answers? Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Hey, Cola.
I've got another, this is an audio/video clip for us there, Rob. So now we come back from break. You heard it in the beginning there, but this is riddled with technical difficulties.
Yeah. It's Market News 1. It's not ABC World News.
It's incredible. Like, what is it? Are they in
idea.
Austin? I don't know where they are. But it's clearly some kind of maybe it. I think it might, in fact, be in Dallas.
That's what I always assumed, just because she was around here.
Yeah.
But, it might be sort of like the thing like broadcast.com or something. Around that time, Cuban, people like that were launching all sorts of these digital platforms, and my son's very into the internet, so
I feel terrible too, because like current day me, this would be all I'm on.
Oh yeah.
Like if this existed and was on every night, like how did we not know this was happening? Like Sweaty Jen Olsen guy knew.
Yeah.
Or I think he did. But
inexplicable.
Yeah, she teased calls. So yeah, let's go to cut 2 for the video.
And now, a Market News First exclusive. OJ takes the stand. Here's Kate Delaney.
Okay, Kevin from New Jersey.
That's great. Hello, everyone. I understand we're back.
This is live. I think we are back. I have no idea. Hi, everybody. We're back, and we're going to take phone calls. 866-495-4122. Guys, let's go to Kevin, I believe, in New Jersey. Kevin, what's your question for OJ? Kevin, what's your question for OJ?
Hi, good show, dude. My kid Chris was wondering, do you think it was a bigger feat to break 2,000 yards in one season or slice 2 necks in one night?
I'm having a little trouble, Kevin, hearing you.
Have you guys ever heard these before?
They've never heard it.
Yeah, that was incredible.
No.
That was
That's
perfect
first-
bait and switch.
First call.
Yeah. The cadence is absolutely.
I know.
Hey, good show, Juice.
I'm just looking at her like, you think he made, like, women had to be nervous around him, right?
Oh, my
She seemed
God.
so comfortable.
Yeah. But she's a bit of a unit, so.
A unit is it's an apt description of this woman.
But still, yeah, she's handling herself confidently. I'm having a little trouble hearing you, Kevin.
She almost looks a little too relaxed.
Yeah.
Like she's like punched.
yeah. Her posture is shit. Yeah.
Like I'd be like, hey,
Come on, Kevin.
like the world is going to be watching me. I am with O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
And
Taking calls.
Yeah, so the first call is a banger. Let's go back to that. Sorry.
Season or sliced two necks in one night?
I'm having a little trouble, Kevin, hearing you.
Oh, what a pro.
All right, I think what he was asking about your records. I could barely hear, but something about your rushing record. What was your biggest accomplishment, basically, in football?
Football's a team sport, so I felt that my junior year in college, we beat UCLA, our crosstown rivals, and we won the national championship. And I had a big run in the fourth quarter to lead to that. So to me,
anyway,
this day,
he's just he's ignoring. He's kind of doing the Bracket Dan bit, right? Just ignoring all the questions.
But I've never heard that follow-up before. First of all, I love listening to all the production people in the background.
Next call.
Let's cut that call.
Next call.
And then the fact that she just springs into, I think he was asking about your football records.
You want to see that one again?
What's crazy, she stumbled more than he did.
I'm having a little trouble, Kevin, hearing you.
In New Jersey. Kevin, what's your question for OJ? Kevin, what's your question for OJ?
Boy, she gets pitched.
Get to it.
Hi, good show, dude. My kid Chris was wondering, do you think it was a bigger feat to break 2,000 yards in one season or slice two necks in one night?
I'm having a little trouble, Kevin, hearing you.
Look over.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right, I think what he was asking about your records. I could barely hear, but something about your.
That's a great troll.
All right.
The first two beats are so sweet. My kid, records, slice necks.
Yeah.
It's
the old setup.
Now, you grew up, you guys are probably too young to have been able to prank call people, right?
No,
I remember prank calls.
Yeah, I prank called a shit ton of people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still do that with
Pre-internet.
caller ID or star 67? Is that it?
Star 69 was the callback or the block?
But there was a block, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But no, I mean,
okay.
I'm older than you think. My big move was like infomercial numbers.
Prank call QVC?
Well, yeah, because I quickly realized that they weren't just for that specific product. It was like a call center for everything that they were selling.
Or were you like an idiot and you were prank calling 900 numbers?
No, I never did.
Laughing,
I never did
You're
that.
paying for it.
I mean, I've definitely like listened to the intro.
So
which sometimes was enough.
That's absolutely enough.
The free portion of the
so
text
the
line.
call center?
Yeah, like you would just be watching, they're selling the slap chop or whatever. And I would call and ask like, hey, I'm here to order AIDS medicine or herpes medicine or something. And I thought that was hilarious. Valtrex, yeah. I was also like 13.
God, he knew that.
Use the tape recorder. Yeah, that was a quick pull.
Yeah, very quick pull. Like
statistically, two of us in here know it.
All right, first call's a banger. I'm sure we're going to get back on track though with call number 2.
Sure.
But I was the first guy to go over 2,000 yards, and there'll be many more guys doing it, but I was still the first, so that's special. But I would say those two team accomplishments were the things that I liked the most.
Still counting.
All right, Alex is listening to us in Ohio. Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, how you doing?
Not
Juice?
bad.
Juice, can you hear me, Juice?
Yes, I can hear you, buddy.
Yeah, remember when you played for the 49ers?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you kill Bill Walsh?
They're all so good at setting it up. Like he sounds so innocent, fanboy. Hey, can you hear me, Juice? Like he's just excited to be interfacing with OJ.
Yeah, and I'd have to imagine those calls get filtered, right? Like they call, they say what their question's going to be to the producer, and then the producer figures out which one goes through.
Yeah, you're looking at two former producers here, or probably 3.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's a lost start. It's a lost start.
And
doesn't always work.
You're looking at former prank callers. You know that you have to have something ready. You have to fake your way through it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can hear you, buddy.
Yeah, remember
Let's
when
hear how
you
he
played
handles
for the
this.
49ers?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you kill Bill Walsh?
I tell you, I had a tough day yesterday concerning Bill Walsh, and I watched some of the comments about him today. I got to know Bill pretty good, even though I only played one season with him. And
So it's important to note, Bill Walsh had, as you can tell there, had died the day before.
Oh, really? Was it right the day before?
It was at least like right.
It must have been, yeah.
around
If he's
it.
saying tough day yesterday.
Yeah, but he just keeps rolling. As you said, you can't stop the juice.
Right. He's just like, hey, let's talk Bill. Oh, you want to
You know,
talk
he was
Bill
a great
Walsh?
coach.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from him.
All right, we got more technical problems and blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to get to call number 3. Certainly, we're going to get on track here.
All right, let's go to the next one. 866-495-4122. 866-495-4122. Hey, who are you, buddy?
This is Steve.
Steve.
How you doing?
Not too bad, Steve.
It was reported back during the famous chase, that went on in '94.
Yes.
It was reported on CBS 3 here in Philadelphia that by Larry Menti that you were squeezing your helmet.
That I was what?
Oh, he was somebody busting on you. You can say goodbye to the guy in Philly.
Since you brought that up, I want to make a point about that. You may not, it surprises people. Like for a while there, I was speaking to law schools and stuff.
Sure.
And one of the big questions they had was they felt that one of the things that related to guilt was the Bronco thing.
Right.
And I said, would it surprise you to know that the Bronco ride was never brought up in court?
So, yes.
Boy, that's a mess.
I'd like to comment on that. That's not what he was talking about. He was talking about you holding your junk. But, yes, he did go on for a long time to say, like, that wasn't a police chase.
Right.
They had called. They had called and said, OJ was going. Like, they told him where he was going and all that kind of stuff.
His house.
And that's why they never brought it up in the court, because it actually was not a police chase. Like he said, I'm heading to, my mom, or AC called or whatever and said, he's heading to his mom's house. I'm taking him there. And that's when they hopped on it, and then the news and everybody.
I also think of the 3 calls that we've heard, it's very funny that somebody making a joke about him jerking off was the time that the host jumped in and was like, all right, hey, somebody's fooling around here.
Yeah,
Not the 2 times when they're
right,
like,
yeah.
Cutting off heads, that's okay.
This is just comedy.
Hey.
And they got 2 hours left of calls to take.
Yeah. I love that he keeps such a great demeanor. Like, she has this vibe of someone fucked up her order at Jack in a Box the whole time. Like, that's just how she carries herself. Yeah.
I just read about how he got his hand not to fit in the glove. Did you guys read about
there's a latex thing, right?
No, he didn't take his medication.
Oh,
he
that's
wasn't
right.
taking medication, so his hand swelled up.
Yeah.
Over a couple months or something.
That is the most genius lawyering of all time.
For sure.
It is.
All of the lawyering.
Yeah.
But he got cremated, right? Did he get cremated?
OJ?
I think so.
I don't know why you looked at me so quick.
I felt like you were setting up a punchline.
Yeah.
Roll with it.
He got cremated, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Actually does field a couple of normal calls.
He fits in the glove.
And this is probably why he says, hey, the public, they're all nice. They all love me.
Yeah.
Look at those first 2 calls. The one guy just wanted to know about Bill Walsh, and the other guy wanted to know about my rushing career. Yeah. So, see, the public, they're not.
It's a nasty media.
But we will, before we go to segment 3, we will go to another call.
Brad is listening to us in Buffalo. Hello, Brad.
Hey, how are you doing?
Not bad, Brett.
Hey, OJ, I had a question for you. With everything that Michael Vick has been going through and being indicted, I was just wondering if you wanted to meet me on the Jersey Shore to do live.
Yep, there we go. You're going to get jokers, but that's the great thing. It's wide open.
No, I don't mind. I mean,
Yeah.
people can say what if it's negative or what, as long as they're serious about the question they're asking.
Just be serious.
It's easy to tell a joke, but it don't bother me.
You make a
I
mock
care
of it.
less.
Yeah.
That guy got too excited.
Yeah.
The first 2 guys are the real artists here.
For sure.
You got to be quick about it.
OJ's mental fortitude is to be applauded, I think, though. You know what I
kept
do?
his
You know, he has the demeanor, he keeps it together the way that, a guy that could kill his wife and get away with it would. You know what I mean? If you told me.
Yeah, it makes sense. Do a little time.
Yeah.
Come out on the other side fine.
Just the way, when you can disassociate from reality that cleanly, you know what I mean? It's something to be applauded, I think, in this world.
Opens a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a lot of the comedy, a lot of the calls that we remember from that TMZ montage, but still we cannot find Sweaty Jen Olsen guy. Remember, Sweaty Jen Olsen guy is that's the white whale that we are searching for here. Have not found his prank call yet, so let's take a little break here. I need to do some drainage, and we'll continue trying to look for OJ getting prank called.
The Dumb Zone.
I'll be perfectly honest with you though. There was a brief moment within that first year of marriage that I didn't know if it was going to work out between me and my wife. I had there was a snapshot in our history when I had reason to believe that my wife was a member of the hit conspiracy group QAnon. You guys know QAnon? You don't know QAnon? Oh God, this is Texas, so I think we all know QAnon. Nobody's ever said that. They kind of describe QAnon. QAnon is a group of patriots, okay, committed to protecting America's children from pedophiles, evidently by actively voting for known pedophiles. I don't really understand the logic as I say it out loud, but I thought my wife was a member of this group, QAnon. I walked in, I heard her on the phone with her mom. She was saying, "Oh, I just recently discovered QAnon. QAnon's been really good for me. I think you should give QAnon a try. I think QAnon could be good for you." Long story short, my wife just doesn't know how to pronounce quinoa.
What does Blake do?
What does Blake do?
What does Blake do?
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
What would you say? What does Blake do? You do here. Listen together. What does Blake do?
Here it is, Lawrence.
Love it.
What would you say? What does Blake do? You do here.
Thanks for
Lawrence.
clearing the sample. Appreciate that.
Lawrence's first song on our show.
What would you say? What does Blake do?
Can Vinnie become our second local comedian to get a song made out of something he says?
No pressure, Vinny.
The bar is high.
Do.
What would you say? What does Blake do?
What does Blake do?
You do here.
Jerry's talking right now.
What does Blake do?
No puppet.
What's he got?
Let's see.
Who made that jingle?
Why, we're 24th.
People send us blankets and songs.
Oh, someone. Oh, wow.
That's right. And license plates.
32 teams draft that we get to pick a player this time because we were the 24th.
All right, we are
best
previewing the
in
draft. Who
NFL,
says we're not?
according to the rules. And so we get to pick. Everybody gets to pick before us up to 24.
Is he explaining
And
how
so
the
that's
draft
what
works?
And not well. Not very well either.
No.
Yeah.
I believe he
There's 32.
Struggling with it.
Yeah, the teams that are lower, they're going to pick before us. That's just the way it's
Okay,
gonna
go
be.
on. Go on.
Yeah. Wow.
Back to OJ. I did want to mention this because we've only been at this studio a few times now, and I don't know if you guys agree with this. I hate automatic faucets.
Yeah, I never get it right.
I
Never.
spend half my time waving my hand under that thing, and my hand's all soapy. And
Yeah, I'm not good at
like, do they just not trust us?
Of course.
Or the employees of this building?
Yeah, I think the Wet Bandits ruined it for all of us.
There you go.
Nice Wet Bandit reference.
Oh, you think they're like cutting down on water consumption? Is that
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were just trying to be hygienic. They didn't want you to touch the handle.
That probably
Yeah.
might have something
That's
to
a
do
good
with it,
one,
but I
too.
think the biggest thing is just, I mean, you walk into like a bathroom that doesn't have the automatic. One of them is almost always just on.
Yeah.
Are you ever with the automatic?
I'm just like, okay. Who
The
does
automatic paper towels? Do you know they set how far they go? You ever get one that gives you like 3 inches at a time, and you have to wave your hand like 10 times just to get an actual paper towel? No?
Yeah, I'm petty about that.
Yeah.
I can tell when they give me like a long piece. I'll just take one because I respect it.
Right.
But yeah, if you give me 3 inches, I'll take 20 of them.
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
revenge.
Hell yeah.
And not care.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, back to OJ.
Jeez.
So again, Blake found. I'll just be honest now. He found 3 of the 4 episodes. So we're still going through episode 1 of OJ in 2007, promoting a book called "If I Did It." Incredible.
Don't you feel like we should read it?
What if Bush did that? You know, what if I did? Just that right before he goes, what if I
I didn't cause 9/11, but
yeah, but what if I did?
had I done that?
Like, what is it
Yeah, let's
about?
read it.
If he did it,
It's all, yeah.
How he
I mean,
would've done it.
he explains it throughout this.
Okay.
I'm not playing you all that audio, but he explains that it's
Get the audiobook. I think Norm Macdonald reads it.
Oh, okay, that's great. Hypotheticals, it's all written in a hypothetical.
Comedic vein.
And just they're just asking me like, what would I have done? And it's amazing. So anyway, here is we get to the next segment, and he's talking about. I thought this was interesting. The support group that he leans on.
I want to promo what's coming up because
Oh, we
I'm
gotta do
going to
that
get
too.
asked all these questions too. Well, why didn't you ask this? And why didn't you ask this? And why didn't you ask this? And I think you've been very upfront about a lot of the things that we've talked about. I call it scatter shooting. We've talked about a lot of different things.
So she invented scatter shooting.
Lo and behold.
I call it scatter.
I call it.
But there are some specifics we'll talk about, some things people don't know about the trial and various people, which you already mentioned that as well.
Yeah, Michael Jackson has been a big part of my post-trial, and I certainly had some affinity for him when he was going through his ordeal, but he was there for my kids, and we'll talk about that.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know that you want.
Jamona.
He was there for my kids.
I don't know that you want Michael Jackson to be there for your kids.
OJ never made a bad decision. You can say that for sure.
Get a Michael Jackson song called "If I Did It."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Your daughter is your butcher.
now we're in episode 2, so day 2, and we will take some calls. But first, we're just kind of setting things up, and he's again talking about that the public loves him for sure, but in particular, ladies like him.
And I do take pride in the fact that every girl I ever dated contacted me when I got out of jail, contacted me when I was in jail.
Every girl he dated.
When the police went to him, they went to all of them. All the way back to the 70s and 60s.
Right.
And ex-wives and everybody, they all said the same thing. That is not OJ. That is not OJ. And many of them,
He has never
including my girl that I see on and off now, will
killed
say
me.
they've attacked me many times. They said we've given him plenty of reason to get physical. But
Okay, I thought that was really funny.
That's a wild turn.
You're losing the audience there a little bit, perhaps. If yeah, let's listen to this.
Not OJ. And many of them, include my girl that I see on and off now, will say they've attacked me many times. They said we've given him plenty of reason to get physical. But
even the girl I see now,
on and off.
Yeah. She even said, like, I probably deserve to have my head cut off.
right? Would
And
your
he didn't
wife
do it?
ever get up and say, you know what? I've given him plenty of reason to get physical, but he has not done so. He's shown amazing restraint.
So after the first episode, did you feel like, yeah, we need 3 more of these? We need 3 more hours with OJ?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, how did they get him to come back for 4 nights?
I mean, it was
It's on the
obviously
internet.
set up in the beginning that it's a 4-part thing.
Yeah, but
And he's going to bring up, I want to talk Ron Goldman in day 3. I want to, he's got 4 hours of material.
so they sat down.
Well, he's actually probably got an hour of material, but then they mix in calls and.
What about Friday, Saturday? I think we need more.
Yeah. We're gonna have a Sunday show now.
Yeah.
They're
We
playing.
we added an early show.
Yeah.
They're playing video messages from fans. They're playing this and that, and of course, phone calls. And I believe that's what we're going to hear. Let's see. I think this is it. Onto some phone calls.
All right, John is listening to us in L.A., I think. Hi, John.
Hi, my name is John Ziegler. I'm a talk show host in Los Angeles and a good friend of Ken Goldman's. First of all, let me say this entire sham interview is a total disgrace to humanity.
All right, that actually is, I know who John is. He does a talk show on KFI in Los Angeles.
it's funny, we all call KFI KKKFI.
Whoa.
We do. It's interesting how this is America where everybody's supposed to be able to express themselves. And for 10 years, people like these people at KKI has tried to get one point of view out. Now, you've never heard me say Fred Goldman shouldn't have the right to go out and say whatever he says. I don't know if I would be doing anything different than he would be doing if I thought somebody killed my son. But why do we have this group of people, and this, if you look throughout history, it's that type of attitude who's tried to dominate what people say. We're over in Iraq because we think it should be a democracy. Everybody should have the say, the Sunnis, the Shiites, and everything. But here in America, people like these people at KKKFI, they only want one side of the story. They don't want you to be able to answer. They want to talk about you, and they don't want you to be able to respond to it. You know?
You know, this is a perfect promo for them. They're going to lift this in
Fine,
front
I
of
don't
you.
care. It
But
doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But my point is, this guy is in the medium. You say you know this guy.
John
He's
Ziegler,
in the
yeah.
medium. Why would he think in America that we shouldn't be able to hear both sides? Why?
The force field trying to use patriotism. The force field not really working.
You could have
not
given
sticking.
me 1,000 guesses, and I would not have come up with OJ weighing in on the split in Islam.
Yeah, I did not see that coming either.
Based on the descendants of Muhammad.
How did he deflect from that?
I just did not have that one.
The guy's a master.
On the board at all.
He's had so much training at this point.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah, juke that question.
Yeah.
We've
Nothing
got
stops the
other
chicks.
callers. Sonny is listening to us in New Jersey. Hello.
Yes, hello, Jude.
Hello, hey, Sonny, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? Hey, what do you think of Howard Stern, Bubba Booey? Howard Stern, Bubba Booey.
That's actually the Howard Stern thing. Howard Stern talks about you a lot.
Yeah, Howard talks about me a lot.
Okay, so now we're just gonna act like the Bill Walsh thing. Like, that didn't happen. He mentioned
but
Howard
also,
Stern.
like,
Let's talk Howard Stern.
These guys are amateurs. I think we all agree the first two dudes had the beats down.
Yes.
Delivered. Yeah, these guys are just.
Well, the problem
there's
is
blood in the water. Now you're attracting amateurs.
we're still looking for Sweaty Jen Olsen guy, and I swear, guys, he's not an amateur. He did some really good ones on the ticket. He once, do you guys know Norm Hitchkus? He was a long-time sports broadcaster. Norm Hitchkus was interviewing a guy for.
Do you want to play it?
15 minutes.
No?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's questionable. You're right.
So he was interviewing a guy for 15 minutes who was a cancer survivor, right? But he was a minor league pitcher. This is the kind of heartstrings story that Norm would love.
Pretty much pre-internet, or at least like dial-up internet. So, this guy had the number for the station, and he heard listening that they were having trouble getting a hold of him. This cancer-stricken minor
Sweaty
league
Jen
pitcher.
Olsen guy, the listener.
Yeah, so he called in
on the hotline as the cancer-stricken guy.
He just did the whole
Talked to Norm for 15 minutes, and at the very end, laid an Easter egg out for us and said, "Thank you, Norm. I'm really appreciative of all I have, and me and my wife, and I'm gay." And then he hung up. And then Norm didn't even hear that. He's just like, "Oh, what a great story he had." That was just one. He had a couple other ones.
Oh, yeah.
He had some post-game shows.
The Coach Joe one was great.
Right, just legendary calls. But I'm just telling you, it's worth it. We're looking for this, but we're not quite there yet. So let me see. Is this the next one?
How about Barry?
Oh, okay. So what we're on to here is, so we are taking calls. We're playing you video messages. We're letting you get out your story, OJ. But also, there are some things happening in the sports world. Let's just see what you got.
How about Barry Bonds, of course, in the news? He's just about ready to break the record for Hank Aaron. He needs one more to go over. And what do you think about the whole deal with steroids? Does it matter if he was juiced? We don't know.
I don't think he was.
Okay, so now juiced.
Oh.
I believe talking Barry Bonds here.
Why would that be an asterisk?
Let's talk. Apparently, so I'm trying to figure out where our heads were in sports at this time. Ricky Williams, 2007. He must have been maybe
Dolphins, right?
Maybe, but did he have some pot going on?
Oh, yeah,
Like
sure.
he was really into wearing the dress on the SI or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was
I
when, when the Saints and Mike Ditka traded everything to sign him, and then he had Master P negotiate his contract, but he ended up with the Dolphins, and then left, for Australia and all that.
Okay, yeah.
I look at Ricky Williams, a good Texas guy. I'm here in Texas. Ricky Williams he's applauded by his coaches. He's applauded by his teammates of what he does on the field. Now, if he wants to go down the 9 Mile on the off season and go up there and walk in the grass barefooted and smoke ganji, I could care less. 15 years from now, who's going to care? So to me, when he's on the football field, when he's practicing, if he's giving it his all, that's the only thing that matters to me in a case like that, especially when it comes to marijuana.
Juice prophetic again.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he's going to talk about what he thinks of pot.
I know, in my personal feeling, is that I would take it over alcohol or any other drug. You know, if I had to choose one that you had to live with, I would take marijuana over alcohol, over any other drug I've heard about.
So, a progressive statement in 2007.
Sure.
Juice speaking for a silent majority. Once again.
The man of the people.
Very on point.
But we get through episode 2, and
by the way, I'm transfixed on Vinny doing the Rubik's Cube right
Yeah, right, with a Sinbad blanket.
Well,
Do you just, like, mess it up and then...
yeah, you want to mess it up for him?
No, you're fine. It's very fascinating to
He
me.
wants you to do it for him.
Yeah, mess it up.
yeah, he's saying mess it
I
up.
know. I'm just saying...
I'm going to throw it to you.
Yeah,
You catch
for
it?
sure. Yeah.
Oh,
He can catch, he just can't throw.
Okay.
Right.
Well.
But we're going to try and deal with that.
But I don't know, like...
Anyway, okay, now let's go to episode 3. These are the 3 episodes that we possess. Can we find Sweaty Jen Olsen guy? He's going through, they're playing a game called Word Association where she'll just throw out a word or she'll throw out like a name and he's got to start talking about him. And she threw out the name Ron Ship. And apparently Ron Ship, I didn't know who this was, but apparently he must have been on the stand against O.J. and he was a former cop and O.J. used to
play golf with him or something?
Yeah, he was kind of friendly with Ron Ship. He's going to tell you.
Laugh at anything I give him. Like, that's all you could do?
He's going to no. It's all going to be the same to Vinny. My daughter used to do this in 40 seconds, and she would just have me mess it up, and I'd throw it over to her.
This isn't a 3x3x3. This is a 5x5x5.
Oh, okay.
Separates the men from the boys.
Yeah, or from
It's so
the daughters from the comedians.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so
Ron Ship.
He's kind of ripping on Ron Ship. This guy, I can't believe he would do this. We were friends, this and that. And some of his message does get lost, I believe, when O.J. uses certain language.
He lied on the stand. The jury didn't believe him, thank God. And he was a guy that even Nicole complains, and you can ask her friends, he'd show up at her house drunk in the middle of the night. You know, he showed up at my house in the middle of the night. The week before her death, he had some broad at my house in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Some what?
Some broad.
That's
Oh.
yeah.
But he said a brat.
If we're trying to, yeah, he showed up with sausages. If we're trying to paint OJ as friendly to females, I don't know that language helps him. Some broad, some dumb bitch.
Okay, so Ron Goldman is the father of
No.
Or Ron Goldman is the
waiter.
The waiter.
Is he on the game board? Give a piece?
He has to be on the game board.
Yeah.
So the father, though, he's kind of ripping him and stuff. And I think there's a little hint at the end here of the real
In the
killer.
civil case, he said that when his son needed help, came to him for help, so he wouldn't have to go to jail for whatever reason, he decided to practice tough love. So he let his son go to jail. And then he had the gall, though, to say that it worked because the next time he went to jail, he didn't even know about it until he got out of jail.
So
I'm saying
Ken
the only
Goldman
thing
is
that
it?
worked,
Keith
the only
Ken
thing his son
something,
learned was not to go to his father for help. So when he was alive, the guy wasn't there for him. Now, you know, I never denigrate the dead. Ron probably had some trouble.
However,
I know his youth and I know what he was into, but I would never let my kid go to jail, ever. You do everything you can to get him out of jail and maybe send him somewhere else and have some shrink or psychiatrist work for him. But
So
that's important, isn't it?
I feel like that's a popular theory. If OJ actually didn't do it, you're trying to figure out who did it.
You guys heard this?
No.
Go ahead.
His son.
Ah.
Because they found DNA that would only match
one of them. Yeah.
OJ or his son or
Yeah, a
just
fan of
those
them,
two,
yeah.
right?
How old was the son at the time?
It might have been early 20s, something like that. And I think there was
Killing
also
age.
of killing age.
They're very strong.
I think also there was the dog hair thing. Are you aware of that?
So is there a chance that OJ was just a great dad?
That is a theory.
All right.
Yeah,
That he just ate this
fall
for
guy.
him, and like he's kind of alluding to it there.
Right.
You know,
Like I can understand.
what kind of dirtbag.
I can understand Fred Goldman doing anything for your son
Yeah,
to keep him out of jail.
yeah. I don't buy it necessarily, but it's very popular on social media.
Which would actually turn OJ into somewhat of, Father of the Year for sure, or Century. Name a better father in the 20th century.
You and I have actually done this hypothetical before.
What?
Like if your kid did something super wild.
Oh, yeah.
And you had the opportunity to just go to prison and you knew they did it. And it wasn't like a mistake. And you're going away forever.
Nah, man. It's like I feel like I've done enough. You know what I mean?
I think that's definitely where Dan's headed.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like if I told you to go
I would
do it,
visit
that's
her all the
different.
time.
Right.
Yeah. I'd visit her all the
Put
time.
money on your books.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot, not all the time. I got
I guess it depends on what my kid's like 40 time is. You know?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You know?
All right. We haven't found Sweaty Jen Olsen guy yet, but we're still kind of rolling through different bits and kind of keeping it light a little bit.
All right, so we'll lighten the load for you and get away from the trial for a second. Here's a question we got from an IM. Have you ever played All-Pro football on the Xbox 360?
No, I haven't.
Because that's right. You say you're not very good with the whole computer thing, right?
I haven't done that.
How about your son? He's pretty good.
Yeah,
at
my
this
son
stuff, right?
plays everything. My young son.
Okay, we don't need to hear all about his son's
What a strange
computer
question.
career.
I think it's because he's in the game.
Okay, well, you're a dork. If that
This
that's your
timestamps
question.
this timestamps this whole interview too.
Hey, OJ, who are you leaning toward in the next presidential election and why?
Hillary Clinton. I love Bill Clinton. I played golf with Bill Clinton, and despite Monica Lewinsky, who was a neighbor of mine, as everybody knows, despite
Everybody knows that.
it didn't certainly keep Eisenhower, Roosevelt, or Kennedy from being great presidents because of some indiscretion.
What?
So
I knew Hillary would get mentioned somehow.
We just had to find our way there.
yeah, this apparently is this is 2007.
Yeah.
Hillary, and I think she's running against Obama. To just
Junior senator out of Illinois.
And just for me knowing that if she needs some advice, she's got him there. You know? Yeah, she's got my vote.
She's ahead.
I don't know if I've helped you, Hillary. you probably have no chance of winning now.
Yeah, this will probably be somebody you'll see all over.
Vote for Hillary.
Yeah, what an endorsement.
She's ahead in the.
He's self-aware, if nothing else.
Self-aware, good at moving around questions.
Yep.
Father of the year.
Yeah.
I'm really coming around on OJ.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Oh,
learning
I just
on this.
watched The Naked Gun for the first time the other
Yeah, he's
day.
in that.
He's in that, yeah.
Actor.
All right, let's go.
He was in Roots.
Let's take some more
I don't know if
calls.
you guys ever had to watch that in school.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, let's
watched it
try
for
to
fun.
squeeze this in real quick. Brett in Houston, go ahead quickly.
Hey, good morning or good afternoon, OJ. How you doing?
Not too bad, and you?
Oh, I just wanted to tell you, I'm doing all right. I love the book. Great idea. Nah.
Too
Well,
bad,
don't
but-
buy it.
Okay,
Well,
so
then don't buy it.
yeah, that's again. What did you guys call it before? Like amateur, right?
Yeah.
That is
That's no good.
Yeah.
that is not a good prank call.
I'm more upset with that guy than I am at OJ. I'll tell you that right now.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let's see. They were talking about his. He was reacting to an IM that they keep taking instant message about his drug use.
I saw a thing in the National Enquirer. It was a front page story. OJ's cocaine habit, his friends. And ask any friend of mine if they ever see me do cocaine. I'm on the golf course every morning at 6:30. Ask any
Cocaine
drug
would help
guy,
with that.
any guy that's
Yeah.
involved in drugs like cocaine, would they be up at 6:30 every day of the week?
Yeah.
And that's
Okay, so
We're
For
going to
sure.
throw it over to Lawrence now.
Yeah, for sure. You just never went to sleep and you're looking for something to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, already done with murder. Like just gonna get out on the green,
still
let
awake.
it rip. Yeah.
so we've watched almost 3 hours of this thing.
And if there's a place to keep your vice going, it's the golf course.
Sure. Yeah.
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 We've watched 3 hours. I don't think we're going to find Sweaty Jen Olsen guy, but here we're going to go to the phone one more time. Can we find it?
Come on.
This is him.
Oh, this
Okay?
is it?
We finally found. I couldn't find the audio. I found half of it. Kimmel was playing it. He's brilliant. He's a master at the prank call. He did a 15-minute interview with Norm.
Yeah.
He's. You guys talk about the pros. You can see the amateurs and the pros.
Yeah.
I just want you to take notes. Like
Okay.
this, as far as the reeling in, the setting up, it's a work of art here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A lot of build-up.
Let's enjoy. I'm sorry, we do have the video of this. Actually, this is the final video. Yeah.
I can't believe they keep going back to the phones.
It's
There hasn't been a good one yet.
Oh, they're all good.
Well, I mean,
Dan loves
for
this
us.
shit. Dan loves this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to some calls, OJ. Ty is listening to us in Texas. Hi, Ty.
Hi, great to be with y'all. This is a real honor. I just wanted to tell her, I think OJ, biggest fan in the world. I have a good reason why. It was I was about 6 years old. Real quick story. 1973 season, the magical season. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. My mom and I are on the sidelines, and it's before the game started, and y'all are warming up. And she was trying to get my football signed by you, and she yelled juice. And I saw you coming over, but I got distracted like little kids do. And I turned around, and not only had you signed her football, but you had lanced my mother in the side of the neck with a pitchfork and signed it.
Oh, there we go. I thought he was leading up to something.
It never gets old.
Yeah, all the little details mattered so much.
Yeah.
You know.
Excuse me, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. He was in
The magical season.
Yeah.
the magical scene. He was so informed.
Yeah.
And then let's
Emotive, yeah.
but let's keep listening because OJ is also quite amused. Listen to OJ laugh.
Distracted like little kids do. And I turned around, and not only had you signed her football, but you had lanced my mother in the side of the neck with a pitchfork and signed it.
Oh, there we go. I thought he was leading up to something actually pretty decent, of course. Yeah.
It's just amazing that, see, the thing that we do here, and I found it curious the other day when the guy called about the 2,000 yards or murdering two people. And the media made such a big deal about that. You know, I listen to a guy, and there's a guy in Miami that I listen to every morning. He's
Dude,
the
he
number
just
one
keeps
drive time
rolling.
guy.
Yeah.
He has to turn off about a third of his callers.
Sure.
And all of these call-in shows, they got a 7-second delay, and it probably up to 40% of their callers they have to turn off for saying stupid things like this, right? Now, we don't have a 7-second
Right, that's
delay.
part of this
So we
media
have
space.
to deal with some of these people, and then the media runs as if this is something unusual, you know. But this is
But-
part of call-in radio.
Right, and this is part of internet TV,
Yeah,
why we
yeah.
say it's a free form because of the
Yeah, sure.
lack of regulation.
Yeah. So
Incredible.
basically, he's saying these calls would be going in on any radio show. It's not because of me.
Yeah, every time they have a guest on, they call in and they're like, hey, remember when you killed those people?
I mean, clearly not the first man to murder a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
know what the big deal is, you know?
So we found it, boys.
Gold.
We found
I absolutely love it.
OJ, sweaty Joe Olson guy,
Worth the wait.
For sure.
the white
A
whale.
lot of patience by OJ to just like, I mean, he knows what's coming.
He'll bide his
with
time.
these-
Yeah.
these
Kept coming
calls.
back
Yeah.
the next day.
I mean, it's like the Matrix where Keanu Reeves is just like dodging bullets. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
everything kind of slows
The game
down for
slowed
OJ.
down.
down
him.
for OJ,
Yeah.
for sure.
The game slows down.
Would you like to do Blake's bag? What do we got? We got possible Blake's bag news and some today in history to
We have a
wrap things
dog
up.
story.
What do we got? Oh, yeah. I thought that might be part of.
Closing remark.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's already aced the Rubik's Cube, too.
Yeah. and
God.
Dude, he's not, and that's not even fair the way he's doing it. Like, he's not just putting all the colors on one side.
Now you got to make art out of it.
He's making designs. When did you start?
Yeah, why? You
Pretty
know,
late
I've
in
known you
life.
for years, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I started like when I was like 25.
What happened? Some traumatic event?
No, I think I just needed to impress people.
And it's clearly working.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it
based
is.
on
I've never seen somebody do that.
Well, I used to take it to
I know he puts it on
restaurants.
stage.
I would take it to restaurants, and I would like get like
Oh,
Ojos Locos, Twin Peaks, Hooters. I mean, I had a success rate of getting numbers at like 98% with this thing. I'm not even. I felt
Wow.
kind of icky about it at one point. But
yeah, that thing has done so much for you.
That's usually why people learn
Oh, yeah.
to tell jokes. But I guess if that's not
yeah.
Yeah.
landing
you know.
chicks.
Yeah, you could work out all the time or
Nah.
You can just learn the Rubik's Cube.
I mean, people like to be hustled. 2016 taught me anything, so people like to be hustled.
It's an incredible skill. The hustle and the Rubik's Cube. So, yeah, what do we got?
Yeah, let's do 2 quick videos in Blake's bag. This is sports related. And let's start with the Dallas Stars last night. Dropped game 1, and I don't know if you guys saw this stat or not, but combining the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs, every home team has won every game except 2.
Yeah.
The Star. Oh, no, NFL.
One.
NFL.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
The Cowboys and the Stars.
The Stars.
Yeah.
So NFL and NHL.
Yeah, and NBA, right?
And NBA.
Yeah.
All the NBA home teams won, at least going into last night.
Okay.
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so here we are thinking, boy,
Is it Dallas?
Sports times are great right now. The Cowboys are really good. Haven't lost at home. The Stars are the best team in the West. The Mavs are playing great. And then it gets to this point, and it's the same old, same old. Okay, so playing Vegas, and I guess, I'm not up on other NHL transactions and how good other teams are. Drawing Vegas seemed kind of weird because they won the Cup last year, but apparently they had a lot of injury problems during the year, and they're all healthy now. And so watching the game last night, I was pretty green to just all the drama surrounding this series. And Mark Stone, the Vegas' captain.
My name
is Mark Stone. He was getting booed a lot. And to me, I thought it was because he was the guy that Jamie Benn slammed his head in the ice.
Correct.
And we all kind of thought he acted like a little bitch about it. And so we booed him. But that's not really it. And so I want to play this clip, which illustrates how bad he was getting booed. And then the studio was just baffled that these NHL fans are booing this guy. So let's play this, and then I'll explain the context.
Mark, it's game 1 of the playoffs, and you knew that it would be a back-and-forth battle against these Stars. What are your takeaways from the first period?
Yeah, we had a pretty good start. Obviously got a power play going. Self-inflicted wounds, unfortunately. Between myself and Theo, we got to be better there.
They're just loving you right now, right here. But for yourself, first game back in 26, conditioning was going to be an issue. Is it at all?
What's that, sorry?
The Boo Birds are out for Stoner here. I'm just wondering how you feel with your conditioning after the absence.
It's okay. Getting a goal early helps. You can see the timing's not there. I turn a bad puck over to get them some life, but we'll get regrouped to the timeout here. I feel fine.
We appreciate it, Mark. Thank you.
I feel fine.
Is it Canadian?
That was good TV. The standing bovation from the Dallas
They don't
fans.
boo nobodies.
What are they booing?
No,
It's over.
They're booing a Stanley Cup champion.
Because of the $92 million salary cap.
They're
That's just the
booing
way
a
it is.
Stanley Cup champion. That's what I see.
Yeah.
So.
Pete DeBoer wasn't booing it. He said he trusts the NHL. I don't. What's the problem?
It's a storyline. Let's face it.
It's the
fans,
playoffs.
It's going to be a storyline.
You got to get in kitchens. They got to get in his kitchen too. All right. Fair game.
So as PK illustrates there, like I thought they beat us last year. We're just going to boo this guy. But then I didn't understand Buchagross's $92 million thing, and so I texted our good buddy Sod.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the deal here? And apparently Mark Stone did get injured during the season, but they put him on what hockey has a long-term injury reserve. And what that does is removes his money from the salary cap. And so they do that near the trade deadline and then trade for like 2 really good people. And now all of a sudden, playoffs come back and the salary cap goes away and Mark Stone is able to play again.
I just call that smart.
Yeah.
Well, it's manipulation for sure, but that kind of seems like a silly rule.
Well, other teams should do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, other teams have.
And it's not like he wasn't hurt. They finished 8th. So
yeah,
it's not like they were just sitting him so that they could manipulate the cap. I mean, they barely made the playoffs. He was hurt.
Yeah,
Still.
Hunter's y'all's biggest fan was telling me last night that they were cheaters, so that's why everybody was booing. I was like, that doesn't sound like cheating.
I didn't.
Doesn't seem like it to me.
I wasn't aware of this, and apparently this guy Mark Stone does this. This is the 3rd year in a row he's been put on this injured reserve.
That's a little bit.
Come back from.
That's a little bit shady.
Yeah, that's excessive.
So
Still.
The Hockey Insider said Mark Stone has been resurrected in April more times than Jesus.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty solid.
That's not bad.
Pretty solid. But yeah, I had no idea the drama surrounding Vegas and how they were manipulating the cap and whatnot. So I thought that was interesting. The other thing I wanted to play was, did you guys see Aaron Boone get ejected yesterday?
Of course.
Manager of the New York Yankees.
I saw the John Boy breakdown, but you didn't really even need it.
No, the John Boy breakdown was really good, but here's the TV copy. So here's what I think the Yes Network ran. So let's play Aaron Boone getting ejected.
Is the first base umpire you saw making that call?
You're not yelling at me. I did what I was supposed to do and check. I'm looking for him to get hit by the pitch. You got anything else to say? You're gone. Okay?
Oh, okay, Hunter. Wow. You know what? We're not going to need a John Boy breakdown of that one. We
Starts
got a very
clear.
Well, there you go. And now Aaron's saying I didn't say anything. Aaron's saying, hold on a second, I didn't say
Can
a
we pause
word.
So the deal was the very first batter of the game gets hit on the foot, but he checked swing. And so the home plate umpire signaled down to first, did he swing or not? The guy at first says safe, and then he says, okay, then he was hit by the pitch, go. Aaron Boone didn't like it. And so they were kind of chirping back and forth. And that's when the umpire said, hey, I don't want to hear another word.
Yeah, I did my job.
Yeah, I did my job. I asked him, this is done. Okay, then he goes back, calls the next pitch a strike, and there's a guy in blue in the first row that keeps yelling at the umpire. And so the umpire hears that guy from the crowd and chunks Aaron Boone, thinking that it was him. Now, we'll play the rest of this, but you'll see over this, the umpire kind of realizes what had happened.
It's too late.
He was pot committed.
Yeah.
And so he had to go through with it. So can we...
Oh, you know what? We're not going to need a John Boy breakdown of that one. We got a very clear... there you go. And now Aaron's saying I didn't say anything.
It was him.
Aaron's saying, hold on a second, I didn't say a word.
Ned got to cut the mic there real quick.
Lower his mic a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they, I think the Oakland A's broadcast picked up Aaron Boone says, I didn't say anything. And the home plate umpire says, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. I don't think there's much probably about it.
Yeah. So they had to chunk him.
And why is it in the world of umpires you can't actually ever say, yes, that was my bad, you're not thrown out?
Well, remember back, was it last spring training? I can't remember who was it. Real Muto, the catcher for the Reds, maybe.
Oh, the Phillies.
The Phillies. That's right.
He was taking the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And describe it.
So Real Muto.
It's always like a spring training game.
Yeah. He puts his hand up here to get the baseball from the umpire, and they fumble the exchange. And
he moved his hand.
And he moved his hand
because
too
he
early.
thought that they had already given the ball back to the pitcher. So he moves his hand and kind of does like.
Well, that's right. They.
Like you do to a little kid,
you
too slow.
Yeah, pulled the chair out from
and the umpire just tossed him right away.
Tosses him in a spring training game.
F umpires.
Boy, they're getting so touchy recently. Is it always been this bad, or is it just getting worse now?
See, I wonder if it's always been this bad, and now we get video and everything of everything.
Now, because they're graded, and we know about every missed call immediately, so maybe they're just getting a little more touchy than normal. But yeah, that was hilarious. But Aaron Boone got to 5 pitches in the game, got to go home.
No, that's the worst thing is he doesn't get to go home.
Oh, he's got to just sit there.
Yeah, he's got to go sit in the tunnel or in the clubhouse. Yeah, and just wait for the game to end.
You can watch a movie.
Hey, while we have video, can we play something completely sight unseen that's been sent to me a couple times today?
Yeah, always.
It's the one I was telling you about.
It's up to video, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I have not seen this. I haven't even listened to it. I believe
group text or what?
Yes, and Twitter, but I believe the text actually says, I could give you 1,000 guesses, 1,000 tries to guess how Kirstie Alley's parents were dressed when they died in a car accident, and you wouldn't get it right.
Oh, no.
So this is Kirstie Alley. I believe she's talking to Barbara Walters. Let's sample
get
this.
there. And I got there, and my sister and I, we were all sitting in this waiting room, and we were sobbing. And as I'm crying, I said, my sister's here, and I wasn't looking at her, but I said, where were they going? And she said, to a Halloween party. And I said, what were they dressed as? Why would you ask this? Why would you? And she said, The Odd Couple. And I said, oh. And I'm thinking, what odd couple? Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon? Well, what were their costumes exactly? She said Mom was a black girl and Dad was a Ku Klux Klan member.
did she say that?
Hi.
You know, I'm not pro racism, but Halloween needs to be more fun, and I think we can all agree on that. You know?
And you just die like that?
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, I think that was worth it. I don't know how they're. Yeah. Okay.
We started laughing. And the whole family, I guess, had heard this conversation, and we all started laughing. And it was the greatest tribute that you could give my mother.
What? How?
Oh. You
Okay.
know, no matter what, you get remembered for one thing in life. You know?
How have we never heard that?
I have no idea.
Doesn't it feel like that should have been all over?
No idea.
Well,
You've unearthed it now.
yeah, let's just be thankful that we have heard it now.
Yeah.
All right, Blake, thanks for the bag. You're done?
Yeah, just a big bag.
All right, let's go here.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
So we do have a few more details on this spousal murder in Plano that we talked about yesterday. We knew the victim was 55. This happened Friday night in Plano. The wife, the murderess, 38. So I think yesterday Blake was like, 55. Like, isn't that, you're both in your mid-late 50s. Is that too old to be
Yeah, you're
bad
already
enough
done.
to kill your spouse?
Yeah. Just let time take them.
Yeah. Unless you go.
Well, yeah, if you're 38, you might
Murder,
think that too,
suicide.
right? But she might be thinking, man, this guy's going to live too long.
Yeah, and as we said, they had a number of domestic issues. In 2022, he requested a protective order and wrote, "I am extremely concerned for my safety as well as my children's safety."
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And is this the lady that Dan may be interested in?
I'm going to sit like Kate Delaney.
You know, she obviously looks like she's been through having to do a murder.
Never mind.
I've been to that Plano jail. Wore that towel.
She's not the most unattractive murderer.
No, you're talking about there was someone that shot their husband in the leg.
Oh, okay.
That's a warning shot.
Over cheating or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good picture.
That one's not horrible.
Have we ignored the possibility she was just protecting her child?
Yeah, so they weren't there at the time. So that doesn't help her case.
I thought she was going to take the OJ defense.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I missed that one.
Just being a good mom.
Yeah, there's a long history here. Text message in the 2022 filing from her to him said, "I see two ways. I put a 45 through my temple, or I go on a homicidal rampage, leaving all the kids orphans."
Wow.
Wow,
man.
sounds like a lyric.
Yeah. You got to really start doing pros and cons here on a board, you know, because I don't think these are the two options.
Yeah, and
The first one, though, sounds better, right?
you would
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of contain the.
It's kind of a victimless crime.
They were at least separated. I don't think they were divorced, but they were separated. But okay, they were divorced, but she was still living at the house as he was trying to get her back on her feet. Like, she'd been to a bunch of treatment facilities for mental health and whatever else for a month. Now she needs a place to stay. He lets her back in. I don't want to victim blame.
Yeah,
You can see the play unfold.
feels like it's
though.
his fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets back on her feet. You have the word divorce sex. It's great. But it
Yeah.
backfired.
But you know, there was at least one time where he had sex with his ex-wife, who's a potential murderer, and it was napalm.
You know that sex was good.
Yeah.
That sex had to be good.
For
You're not
sure.
going to keep putting up with this.
A hush just fell over the room as everybody.
Yeah, I wonder what it's like, too, because they'll say, like, all ladies are crazy, right, in some way. But what if she's actually crazy? So that means however crazy you think your wife is, like, make that
You never been with real crazy before?
exponentially. No, I don't think so.
One of the first girls that I met whenever I moved up here, I took her out. We were over here in Deep Ellum and walking around, and then we get back to the car, and I'm like, she like lifts her shirt up a little bit. I like notice all these like really amateur tattoos on her hand and her arm, and I was like, man, well, what are these tattoos? What are they going? And she was like, I went to jail in Colombia. These are like Colombian prison tattoos. And she was like, you probably won't like what my crime was. And I was like, lay it on me. She was hot. She was like a low rider model. Like, she'd go to like car shows. And And she was like, yeah, I was.
I love that right there, though. It's just like Colombian prison tattoos, but she was really hot, so you guys all understand.
Yeah.
I'm not running away.
Yeah,
Clearly, I need an explanation.
I got to stick around.
Yeah, got to stick around.
I guess she was having some unwanted physical contact from a Colombian man and bit his penis off and got sent to jail for it.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about the most nerve-wracking blowjob.
Wow.
I was on pins and needles the whole time, dude.
Yeah, she told you, like, this is going to be a setup, maybe. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the OJ caller, like sweaty Jensen, you know? It was like,
But
Man,
if you
that's
know
great.
it's a possibility, does it take it to another level?
Oh, my
It
God.
does, yeah, it absolutely does.
That's working without a net, man.
Yeah.
It absolutely does.
but you know for sure she's never going to blow you and not think about that guy. Both of you. I mean, he's in the room
That's
with
very
both
true.
of you, you know?
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you may want to hurry up and get that over with because there's a chance she could.
Oh, yeah. No, she's not having to put in too much work.
No.
Although you might get some fright because of that, too.
Yeah.
You got
Man,
stage
yeah.
fright.
What
Oh,
mental
that's-
gymnastics you're playing?
I don't think you should have to go to jail for that.
Yeah.
If he was abusive,
Yeah. Did Lorraine Bobbitt do time? She did, right? For sure.
Yeah, I think she did. And then the guy made a career out of it, didn't he?
was that
did.
Joey Buttafuoco?
No.
Didn't he
Is that
like
a
do a
different guy?
porn at some
John
point?
Wayne, yeah.
John Wayne Bobbitt.
How long was she in there?
In jail?
Yeah.
My Colombian girl?
Yeah.
Like 9 months, she said.
And you get tatted up in those 9 months? She really bought in.
Got to.
Got to survive, bro.
Yeah.
You just don't get it.
No, I don't.
You don't understand the streets.
Yeah, so unfortunately for this woman in Plano, it doesn't look like there was any history of him, like the deceased husband hitting her or, you know.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
That is so unfortunate.
She's
yeah.
probably going to have to do the full boat here.
I had a teacher in Plano go home and kill her whole family one time. It was
Holy
pretty wild.
shit.
Yeah, Miss Wolverton. You can Google that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will.
I trust you.
Yeah, Miss Wolverton. I had to go to a special programs at one point, and she was this big, real mean lady. And then one day she went home and just murdered her husband and their daughter and herself. Yeah.
Did you have, I mean, you said she was mean.
She was one of my teachers, and I immediately was like, man, I was mean to her sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We were talking about
Some guilt
this
about
last week when Blake did a book report on Columbine. We were like, yeah, that was the moment where you were like, I'm not doing, if I'm at all picking on any outcast kids, that stops today.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if I've been rude or mean at all to you, which wasn't like my bit, I was a dork myself, but that was a phenomenal deterrent for outcasts.
Plano. Dark
Columbine.
place.
Yeah, 420.
Deborah Wolverton,
Mm-hmm.
a science teacher in the Plano ISD, shot and killed her husband and daughter before shooting herself. 2003.
Mm-hmm. That's the year I graduated.
No suicide note.
So yeah, if you were in high school in Plano in like the early 2000s, and I'm sure we talked about this last time.
No photo.
Were you? It's the only reason he looked it up.
That's right.
Oh, she was rough. Real rough.
Okay.
Real rough.
I'll
Were
take the
everyone's
word for it.
parents having meetings about heroin, or was it over?
No, I mean, I was pretty young whenever the heroin epidemic happened.
I thought it was, yeah, I guess late
Yeah,
90.
yeah, that was a little bit before my chance to be
So
there.
they told you to say no to that.
Yeah.
They didn't focus on the
They
meth.
left.
No, they might have mentioned it, but I think I was just, I was too busy getting yelled at by teachers that would later go home and murder their whole families.
Yeah.
Plano and heroin, really?
Oh, yeah. There was a whole epidemic, man.
I can't tell if he's kidding or not.
I didn't grow up here. I don't know.
Oh, dude. Speaking of Rolling Stone,
You're from Houston?
I'm from Lake Jackson, which is home of Selena, Ron Paul, and Buc-ee's, actually.
Wow,
Oh,
what a
wow.
triumvirate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Took his daughter to
right there.
homecoming.
You took Ron Paul's daughter to
No, but Ron Paul pulled me out of my mother's womb, though. He was an OBGYN.
I did
before
know
he was
that.
a
Wow.
presidential
Wow.
candidate.
What?
But I took Beaver Aplin's daughter.
Look at this guy. Delivered by Ron Paul. Took the Buc-ee's heir to prom.
Heiress.
And then the
Heiress.
Colombian.
And then ended
Colombian.
up dating a Colombian who
Figured out the Rubik's Cube.
just had that taste in her mouth and had to get it back.
Yeah, in the late 90s, Vinny, the heroin was like, it was a national story in Plano. That I don't know how many deaths they had. It was a lot.
It was a lot. They were just throwing kids out of cars like in front of hospitals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they had figured out like black tar heroin. I think they called it like Chiva or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was way deadlier. And it was right around the time you got here, Dan. I don't know if you remember this or not.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a big, big deal.
It was like fentanyl before fentanyl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Chiva RV.
I don't know what that.
That's a comedian in Dallas that does a lot of heroin. Shiva.
Oh yeah, shout out Shiva. Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. Methadone.
He's
Yeah, he's reformed.
He's reformed.
Blow
Yeah.
somebody's spot up like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, he
Shout
talks
out
about it
Shiva.
on stage all the time.
You know, that's interesting because I know that
He'll be here next week.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You guys should.
In watching Vinny's special, it feels like if you want to have a cheat code with an audience, I see two pretty solid ways. Wife who's not the same ethnicity as you, or
Yeah.
drug addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes it, I got nothing. I'm not like fully addicted to drugs, and I have a white wife. Again, the white male having it tougher than everyone
You know what?
else.
No one has it as tough as we do.
I know. But like,
That's
at least
what you guys
Mulaney,
don't get.
At least Mulaney can be like, I went to rehab.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of hate
He's
it.
got an Asian wife.
Does he?
Yeah.
Olivia
Munn.
Is Olivia Munn Asian?
Yeah, she's like
They're married.
big tiger mom.
He left his wife right when he got out of rehab for her.
Oh, so rehab fixed him.
Well, I mean, he
has a
fixed him to the
child
point
with
where he
him.
left his wife after she stuck with him through rehab.
But yeah, she's Chinese, I think.
I didn't know it was Olivia Munn.
Oh yeah.
She's super hot. Love me some Olivia Munn.
Never did time in a Colombian prison, to my knowledge. Okay, you know what? There's the news, because I have comedy questions, and I want to make sure we get to them.
Just want to take a look at Olivia Munn to confirm everything. Doesn't really look Asian.
No.
Oh yeah,
I think her
guess she
mom's
does
Chinese.
a little bit there. That's a
I feel like
weak,
that's a stretch.
That's a weak force field. Anyway.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
We don't even know what that means. Let's do this.
No, we really don't. I forgot to heat up my spaghetti, Blake.
In your microwave?
Is that a thing you guys do on your YouTube videos, though? You got to like and subscribe? Smash that like button? Like, do you implore people to do that?
I'm so not savvy on all
You're not
that.
good at...
Yeah.
No,
me either.
I'm good at making the comedy. I'm not good at promoting the comedy so much.
We're not good at any of that.
You rarely see them together. I feel like all the best comics in Dallas are terrible.
Yeah,
It's like the terrible comics are so good at promoting everything.
For
and
sure.
They're on top of it.
I was
all.
3 years into comedy before I even got a social media.
Yeah, I didn't have a headshot for 9 years.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna be good first before I try to promote.
Yeah.
But those were the days.
Those days are gone. Those
now,
days are
now
so
everybody
gone.
who can put comedian in their IG bio is a comedian.
So
Ooh,
today
like that.
is Tuesday,
Shot.
April 23rd. And some things that happened on this day in 1964. Ken Johnson of the Houston Colt 45s was the first major league pitcher to throw a 9-inning no-hitter and lose the game.
Oh.
Is that exciting, Blake? Baseball, Blake?
Yeah, I like trying to think about how they scored their runs. Maybe a walk, stolen bag, and an error, something like that.
Pete Rose got on from a walk. Then there was a bunt, moved him over, and then scored on another error. Yes. And then he lost 1-0. On this day in 1988.
Yeah, I was just going to say on this day in 2024, the Federal Trade Commission voted 3-2 to ban non-compete agreements.
Whoa! That feels like news and today in history.
Yeah, just came down.
Little late.
Don't you think that's some information I could have used yesterday?
So last year, we couldn't come to a contract agreement with the ticket, and we moved on. And what we moved on to, like right when we didn't do the contract, is podcasting from high atop my garage.
Yeah.
Subscription only. No ads.
Subscription only, no ads, on purpose because we wanted to play it cool. And we were sued by Cumulus Media. That's the company that owned the ticket, that owns the ticket.
Oh, dear.
For competing. And, 6 figures of lawyer bills later, we ended up settling that. And basically the settlement said, well, you guys just keep doing exactly what you were doing and we won't sue you anymore. So it's not like we had to stop doing something. We had to scale it back or something. No, basically the settlement was just, we'll stop. No one felt good about going forward because we couldn't afford it, and I don't think they thought they had a good chance, path to victory, and we weren't sure we had a path to victory either. We couldn't afford to find out.
But
the point is, it was all about if this ruling had gone down last year at this time, we don't get sued because there's not even any question that.
Oh, I see.
So podcasting above my garage, not the same as working for a commercial radio station. That's what we were trying to say the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But they said we need to sue you anyway because you are competing. But now that there's if there's no non-competes, then none of that even matters. The point is, it was too late. I tried to explain my too late joke.
Oh, you're fine. So we have clubs do that to us.
You get like a radio clause or something?
Yeah, you get like a radius clause sometimes.
What does that mean?
Where it's like there's certain clubs, like whenever you agree to work the weekend there, they're like, you can't perform within like 250 miles of this place. It's like a
For how long?
Competition. I'm not even sure.
They do it with bands and stuff.
You just nod and say, well, I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, well, a lot of the places I'm playing, like if I'm in Tulsa or if I'm in like Little Rock, I'm like, I know there's nothing else around here that I'm trying to go do, so it's fine.
On this day in 1988, 88 is when a federal ban on smoking during domestic airline flights of 2 hours or less went into effect. So if you were flying from here to, I think Cleveland is like 2 hours and 15 minutes, you could
You're
smoke.
good to go.
Isn't that seem really late that there is still smoking on planes?
It does, but I mean, we all remember having family members that smoked in the car well into the 90s.
Oh, yeah, my mom.
With your kids in the car, yeah.
And at the dinner table in restaurants.
God.
Yeah, but you're in the non-smoking section, like 3 feet away
impenetrable.
from the smoking section. Was that logical?
Now we just have Zens on the plane. Nothing better than a good plane Zen.
I did kind of feel high and mighty walking into Chili's. Smoking or non? Non. Not a smoker.
What do you think I am, some sort of dirtbag?
I smoke my vape everywhere. Just wait for somebody to say something. It rarely ever happens.
You don't want to do that on a plane, though.
Yeah.
The bathroom, yes, but...
Yeah. Like, I'm polite about it. I'm not, like, blowing it around. Like, if it's a public... Like, I try to keep it down.
You do the plane bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And then for some reason I don't even think this is, like, really that useful, but when I flush, I blow it into the... So in my mind, I'm
you
like,
think gravity's getting it down in there?
It out. Yeah. Down into the... Yeah.
On this day in 2005, the recently created website called YouTube, where we are broadcasting today.
That's right.
To the world, uploaded their first ever clip. It's called Me at the Zoo. It has YouTube co-founder Joed Karim in front of an elephant enclosure at the San Diego Zoo. Do we actually have the first ever YouTube video to play? Let's see if there's any audio that's good.
All right, so here we are in front of the elephants. The cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long fronts, and that's cool.
That's the co-founder of YouTube?
That's pretty much all there is to say.
Oh, yeah, the first video, yeah.
How many views does that have?
Dang. 311 million.
We'll get there.
No, we won't.
How does that compare to Dude Perfect's first video? Ask Brooks. Birthdays. We have some viewer mail birthdays. Watered Down Coffee Leader. It's my birthday tomorrow. I know you will business harder on Wednesday, so I request the shout out today. It's my O.J. Simpson birthday.
32.
R.I.P. Juice. My leaders are Jake's 1860s debate knowledge, Dan's daughters, and F off Gene from Brandon Simonton. Uncle Hotmail, day 4, number 2223 here.
Deuce.
It is my Wyatt Langford birthday.
Okay, come on. What are we doing?
What?
Can't give us a guy who's been at the big league level for like 2 weeks.
I thought you were a sports guy.
I'm not.
Oh. I thought you were.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a He's got a homer first before I know his number.
That's from Ryan. Dear Reich McDowell, I write to you this day at this current time now to wish my brother-in-law Justin Belter happy Michael Irvin / full Derek Coleman birthday. Oh, half Michael Irvin or full Derek Coleman.
Okay. It's a long way to say happy 44th birthday.
Justin runs Hickory Heat Barbecue and brought me to the den when we watched Lions versus Bucks. One of many games that nobody ever believed in Baker. I was the charming, underrated comic in the back row that brought you guys the gifts of Jeff Fry and Derek Holland signed photos.
Oh, yeah, that's behind you.
Right there.
Yeah. There you go.
That's the Dutch oven. Anyway, Justin's leaders are Crypto Dez, Mustard on the Lettuce Guy, and the curiously cuckolding septuagenarian that seems to have engaged in simulated sexual assault with Jake's house guests in the yard of his rental property.
I don't think it was assault. It looked pretty consensual.
More Prophets and Outlaws.
That's a long email, man.
More Ted Emmerich. That's from Brian Winkler.
Yeah, Justin's a good dude, though.
He is. He brought us free barbecue, dude.
And I appreciate that. But
he lives in Wiley.
Jake's right, though.
Let's cut that back a little bit.
Today's birthday's Peyton Hendershot, 25.
He's funny.
Joe Ferguson is 74. He was a Bills quarterback. Maybe there when the juice was there. He led the NFL in passing yards in 1977 with
1,200.
77. You say 1,200. What say you, Lawrence? Do you have an idea?
Of who?
1977.
He ain't paying attention.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, no. Buffalo Bills.
Vinny.
Yeah.
1977 NFL passing leader.
I would have to believe he throws for at least 2,000.
Yeah, I was going to say like 1,700.
You're going 2,000.
2,000's mine.
1,200. Just how the game has changed.
Yeah.
You say 1,700.
Yeah.
Jake just typed it in. I just want that on record.
So I'm looking at what it was last year.
It's got to be over 2,500.
Last year, Tua threw for 4,624 yards, leading the league.
And made me a pretty penny.
Okay. The answer is 2,800.
Okay. Look, they were airing it out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's surprising to
0-3.
me.
Yeah.
That would have finished probably last among all starters this year.
That's less than 200 a game.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Now, he did sling it around for 12 touchdowns.
Wow.
And 24 interceptions.
Whoa.
Oops. But was thought of as one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Would you just not take a quarterback in fantasy football? Like, is it even worth it?
Well, certainly when OJ is rushing for 2,000 yards.
Yeah, you take running backs, but if this guy's losing you points.
Filmmaker Michael Moore is 70.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? We just had a big Michael Moore talk. John Lutz is 51. He is from 30 Rock.
Oh, yeah.
John Cena, 47. John Oliver, 47. Cal Penn, 47.
Why do I know that name?
Harold and Kumar. Worked in the White House, didn't he?
Yeah. I think so.
Dev Patel from Slumdog Millionaire is 34. And Todd Clem. That's quick work, video man. Todd Clem is 59. You absolutely know who he is. But before this morning when I typed this out, I didn't know what his alter ego was.
Chris Gaines?
Todd Clem is also known as Bubba the Love Sponge.
Okay, yeah.
So let's get your Kemp spin on that.
Hulk Hogan had sex with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife.
What?
He was a radio host in Florida, like a shock jock.
That's pretty shock jock right there.
And Hulk Hogan had sex with his wife, and Bubba somehow filmed it. I think they had a camera like set up in the bedroom. And then Deadspin, or Gawker rather, do you remember Gawker?
Yeah.
The website? They obtained the footage where you could see Hulk Hogan's Coke can penis, and they put it on.
Are you saying it's big?
Yeah, but it was like.
Yeah, is that a good thing?
Is that his penis on the screen?
It was like stubby, but very wide.
Interesting.
Man, this guy looks like an edgy Patton Oswalt.
He kind of does.
No, it looks like the Flavortown guy.
He kind of does. Check out too.
Exactly. He took her to Flavortown.
So Gawker obtained that footage, and then they actually put it online. And the founder of PayPal, whose name is Peter Thiel, who helped get Donald Trump elected, decided to pay Hulk Hogan's legal bills because Gawker had reported on him being gay before he had come out publicly. And so he dumped tens of millions of dollars into Hulk Hogan's legal campaign and got Gawker ended. And now you know the rest of the story.
What a web.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a tangled
Peter
web
Thiel,
we
one of the richest men on earth.
Some dude just looking down at his Coke can dick going, oops.
Yeah. And on top of that, you know what you can see if you can find real quick, because maybe they haven't seen this. You need to find Hulk Hogan's court attire, because it's one of my favorite images of all time.
Yeah.
Because he had to stay true to the brand, you know? So
rag.
It's formal, though.
Yeah, sleeveless tux or
it's
something.
not quite sleeveless, but it is. Just, I remember watching him on the stand, and like he's got the freaking facial hair and everything. It'll come up eventually. Yeah.
That is great.
How great is
that?
that?
Is phenomenal.
The black shirt, black T-shirt, black sport coat, black do-rag
with the cross on.
With the cross on.
Yeah.
I swear to tell the whole truth, brother.
Born on this day, now dead, we have Hervé Villachez. He was the, well, back in the day, you would say the word midget. I would certainly never say that now, but he's a very small guy on Fantasy Island.
Boss.
Do you know what he would, have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, hell yeah. I used to watch that.
I like to ask our young guy here. You ever heard of the show Fantasy Island?
No, I guess not.
So you don't know, like...
Benny?
The plane.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
This is a cultured
There
man
he
over
is.
there.
There
yeah.
he is. Yeah.
I know my midgets.
God, it looks
Bud-
like he could be my son.
That's his song.
That
right
does kind of look like it could be your
That's
son.
his song.
Yeah, it does. It very much does. Yeah.
We've been waiting for the
Oh,
drop.
my
Bud
God,
Wilkinson from OU, Roy Orbison, and born on this day, now dead, Timothy McVeigh. Big week for him.
It's a big week for terrorists.
And died on this day, still dead, Howard Cosell. Blake, do you have a good Howard Cosell imitation? Do you even know who that is? Certainly you do.
I've heard George do it enough, but no, I wouldn't say it's good.
Ooh.
I think
mine,
pretty
his
good.
is
No.
great. I'm saying you asked
Okay.
if I had a good impression. No.
Whatever. Rip George.
And that was Today in History.
Indeed it was. Well, guys, this has been a pleasure. Rewind, if you are listening to the beginning. We did our plugs at the beginning. We didn't really
They can do it again if they want.
wait till the end. But we do have closing remarks here.
Oh, beautiful.
Your opportunity.
My opportunity?
To and we actually have something to ask you, Vinny.
Yeah. Well, I'll do
you
mine
have
and
any-
then we'll do Vinny's story.
Okay.
So we can close strong. You know, mine is just, please check out the special. It's on YouTube. It's Trina. I think since the last time we talked, my mom found out I named it after her. She's really fucking pissed off. Like really mad. We're not speaking. So please go check that out. Prove her wrong.
A rough relationship, right?
Rough,
At
and
times.
then it gets better. And then we're at Red Lobster, and I go, hey, I forgot to mention this, but it's at almost 20,000 views, and I named it after you, and it's on YouTube. It's my special.
TRINA?
Yeah, TRENA.
TRENA,
And
sorry.
she's real mad.
We said
She still
Trina,
picked up
not-
the check at Red Lobster, which I appreciated because it's more expensive than you think it is. But
Boy, we've had a lot of Red Lobster talk.
Yeah, they're going bankrupt.
R.I.P.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Oh, no.
because they overextended themselves on the endless shrimp.
Oh, I was gonna think the biscuits.
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Shrimp's more expensive though.
Shrimping ain't easy.
Are they really going out of
There you go.
business?
No.
Like where I
I
grew
think
up,
you could
we
just
were kind
do
of
a
white trash.
bankruptcy,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and you can still be cool.
Because we would go there on special occasions. My grandma would bring her own cake. Did you guys have grandmothers that would bring their own cakes
Yeah,
to
you give
restaurants?
it to the waiter. They'll put it in the fridge in the back.
Okay, I've never seen anybody else do it, but my grandmother never did not do it. You know, she just walk in and just very
BYOC?
calmly.
Yeah.
All right.
I was always waiting for someone to be like, yeah, this is a restaurant, lady. Nobody ever blinked an eye. They would just take the cake and they would take it back in the back.
And then you tip them 5%, but then you give them some cake to kind of even it out.
Yeah.
Save some money.
My dad was bringing sandwiches to the movies.
Yeah.
In the hoodie pocket for sure.
But May 9th, I'm headlining Comedy Arena. Please come check that out. And then July 4th through the 6th, I'm headlining TK's Comedy Club in Addison. TK's is super cool. I'll be there on Friday as well, hosting a show. So come check it out. And then, follow me on all the things. On all the things. Just my name.
You're getting better at this promotion thing.
I think I nailed that. That was really good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty cocky right now.
Now, you know the story we want to ask you about because you were wasting it in the commercial break. Actually, there was not a commercial. It was just a break. Anyway, but do you have any closing remarks that you wanted to offer besides that story? This is your
I
opportunity.
have dates too. Can I plug some dates?
Of course. Jesus, dude.
So we do the Cowabunga Nights. Next one is in Plano, downtown Plano. Last Wednesdays of the month.
Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow's the next one.
I might swing by.
That sounds like a threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not Ross Day now. That's inside baseball.
Yeah. I might have punched somebody. Okay, yeah.
Then we got I'm doing Hyenas in Fort Worth on Friday.
Oh, okay.
With Rob Stant, who's doing the Cowabunga show on Wednesday. He's out of Philly. I'm headlining Jack's Comedy Club out in Rockwall, a new comedy club that just opened May 2nd, May 3rd. Plano House of Comedy, May 7th. Cowabunga Garland, May 15th. Comedy Arena, May 16th. Headlining the Brazos Theater in Waco, May 18th.
This guy's lapping you. He's
headlining Rose City Comedy Club in Tyler, May 25th. May 29th is the next Cowabunga. Doing like a weekend in July.
What if you just list the days you're not working?
We stay working.
Yeah.
We stay working. So follow me on IG, Vinny and the
Lawrence
Jokes.
is going to be out 3 times in the next 7 months.
Give the handle again.
I tried to be smart and just plug the ones I really need people to come to.
Okay.
You know what I mean, Vinny? I wasn't trying to just get my Coke can out.
I'm trying to big.
I was trying. There's 2. I promised TK I would very much promote TK's, and I thought and please come to the McKinney one. And you mentioned Ross.
And follow Vinnie Corrales on the things, right?
Vinny and the Jokes. Only on Instagram. I don't fuck with any of that other shit.
IG? Okay.
Yeah.
We call it IG.
IG. New Facebook.
Yeah. We got to get on there. Are we on there? Or we just don't do a lot on there?
No, we're doing better.
Are you tagging these guys with it?
I will.
Today? All right.
Yeah, I tagged you guys yesterday on the thing. You guys, why are you guys not doing Instagram? What made you guys think?
We're doing it.
Just
We're
going
just
so well.
I don't know how it
It's just like another thing you have to look at, and I just get
like we all kind of
down.
got on Twitter a long time ago, and that's just been the thing.
Yeah, it's just kind of good for sports and news, and now it's just Twitter.
Like Facebook kind of sucks, but
Won't
then
do
we
it
also realized there's a lot on Facebook that we should be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like weren't you saying there's like a big dumb zone fan zone thing, and there's tons of people in there doing stuff, and so we should I don't know, do something. I don't know.
The cat just got out of the house.
When I
What's
say
up to
we,
here?
it's someone around us should do something with it. Not we.
Yeah.
Like it's a royal
What
thing.
do we do now?
I would do Twitter. I got banned from Twitter way back when for impersonating local Congressman Kenny Marchant. And
I think he used to listen to the station.
And that
Or his son, right?
Or maybe it was his son.
His son was really big.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that account picked up some steam, and think tanks were following me and other politicians, and then it just kind of got out of control.
I did that with Taco Bueno, and that one got banned.
Yeah, and then they just associate your phone number with any account you try to do.
Oh, really?
There's no point in.
I've been banned before.
Yeah,
suspended.
Suspended, yeah, but I didn't think it was coming back. But we actually knew a guy who worked at Twitter, and that's the only way I was able to get my account back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's not that interesting of a story, so I'll tell it now so we can finish with yours. But do you guys remember Kyrie's whole "the Earth is not round" thing?
Yeah.
So Steph Curry made a joke about that and said something to the effect of, maybe he's right, and just to stoke the flames or something like that. And there was a Texas music artist, Randy Rogers, right, Blake? He's like a country music artist, fairly popular in the region. And he tweeted something like, "Hey, at Steph Curry, if you think this is funny, I live next door to an astronaut in Austin who's been to the moon. Why don't you come down here and say this to his face?" And I just quote tweeted with, "Yeah, because he'll kill you." And they didn't think that was funny at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No nuance on Twitter.
Like his was more aggressive than yours was clearly comedy.
Yeah, I didn't actually
his is
think
his
that
was
the
the one-
85-year-old astronaut was going to murder Steph Curry. I thought that was fairly clear, but the people at Twitter didn't.
Right. You did think Steph Curry would actually go down there and see him, but you just didn't think
Yeah.
the guy would then murder him.
That's a weird call to have to make to your boss. I'm like, "Hey, I got banned from Twitter." And he's like, "All right, what is it?" And then I have to explain everything I just told him.
So do you guys think that both of you wouldn't have, in today's Twitter atmosphere, you're fine?
I don't know. People say that. But he's not on there. So
You were
he
just
doesn't know how
you were before your time.
Oh, I was gonna do it, but they don't. I mean, my handle
he's-
was
yeah,
too
he's-
long. They don't even accept my handle. It's too long. So
persona non grata.
Yeah.
So how did we get into that story you were telling during the break, which was funny?
Well, I was telling them about, we're talking weed. Where is it legal? Where is it not? And if you get pulled over as an adult, because I think Vinny said, like, look, it's basically legal if you're an adult. Just be smart about it, right? But if you happen to have recently been pulled over and you're like, oh, you know what? I think I might have like one gummy in my car. I'm not driving high or anything like that. It just a friend of mine that I sometimes work with gave me.
I feel like that's just a cop telling you, like, hey, time to eat that gummy.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people, like, it was 8:15 in the morning and I was picking up my daughter from school, from like a whatever therapy. And I realized when he was approaching the car, I'm like, I do have something on me. Then we started talking about like how nervous you get, even as a 40-year-old, to be like, this is Texas. Like, I would go to jail, at least for the day.
Something would happen.
Yeah. And so I believe Lawrence has already exhibited that his idea would just be to eat the THC. And Vinny then piped in that he's gone much further than that before.
Yeah, well, this was actually after I had that gun pulled on me with a Rubik's Cube, and I needed to like kind of seek out a therapist, because there was a lot of sleepless nights. Yeah, and it was really hard to find a therapist too. I ended up finding like an old like Korean War vet as the guy who just really whipped me into shape, because the whole time I felt like, why am I feeling any sort of way? Like, you actually went through some shit. Like, why should I? And he was like, no. But the difference is I signed up for that. This happened like where you live. Like, you should probably actually feel more traumatized. And then once he said that, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But he's told me, he was like, legally I can't, like recommend like psychedelics or anything, but psychedelics have helped people like with like PTSD or whatever. And that's all the green light I need for my next psychedelic trip, so, doctor's orders. So this was like fall a couple years ago, and we were going down to San Antonio. It was me, my wife, and our bulldog. We had an English bulldog, Phoebe, and we were gonna make like a weekend out of it. We are gonna bring some mushrooms. We were gonna staying with my cousin. We're gonna party. I'm doing comedy this weekend. Like it's gonna be a good weekend. It's gonna be a very therapeutic, positive weekend. So we drive down, and we get to my cousin's house. We're staying with her, and come around and open up the back, and my dog is having a tough time breathing. She's really like, her tongue's turning purple. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not getting any oxygen to her brain. Like, and she's a bulldog anyway, so she's already like prone to having like tough time breathing. But so I pick her up, put her on like on the driveway. She like rolls down the driveway. Oh my God, this is not good. Pick her up, take her into the house. She makes it maybe like 5 minutes in the house, and then she just like dies, like right there. Me and my wife right there, like trying to give her chest compressions and giving her mouth to mouth and doing whatever we can. And it was really heartbreaking. And then I like looked at my phone and I'm like, oh, I have a comedy show that starts in like 20 minutes, but I have this like dead dog in my cousin's house. I can't just like leave this here like this. I gotta take care of this. So I call the comedy club. I'm like, you guys aren't going to believe this, but my dog died. And they're like, a dead dog, right? We've heard that 1,000 times, So I'm like, I can make an executive decision. I'm like, okay, we're going to go to HEB, we're going to get a cooler, and we're going to go to Houston, put my dog in the cooler, and we're going to go bury the dog at my parents' house. Their old, family house. They've never moved. All of our family pets are buried there.
But you canceled your comedy show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just featuring that weekend anyway, so I wasn't headlining, but I was just,
What if you were headlining? Do you do?
If I was headlining, that dog is staying in the house.
Okay. Yeah. I said earlier, I was like, I would have canceled the show. I would have.
I wonder how funny you can be with that in your head.
In your head, yeah.
I've had it. Yeah.
And then, so we go to HEB, get the cooler, convert the hatchback into a hearse, start making our way down I-10, going to Houston, and get to like Seguin, and then all of a sudden, I see the red and blue lights in the rearview mirror, and I'm like, we can swear here, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I swear I was like, damn. And so the cop pulls me over, and I'm like, man, we have enough mushrooms here for like 4 people. My wife is here. I got this dead dog in the back, and I'm like, I don't want my wife to like, go down for any of this, like, So I decided to just make another executive decision and just eat all the mushrooms, like as the car is slowing down, pulling off to the side. And so the cop, he walks up, and
how Super Troopers is that?
Yeah.
The cop walks up, and he's telling us that we're speeding, and I was like, man, I'm so sorry about that. And he's like, yeah, it smells a little funky in here too. And I was like, you're not gonna believe this. I have a dead dog in the back. And then the cop, he gives me the line that the comedy club is like, dead dog, right? Yeah, I've heard that 1,000 times. He's like, let's look at the car, let's see it. So I open up the door. Go to the back, open up the hatchback, pull out the cooler, lift open the lid, and the cop looks in, and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry for your loss. You guys be on your way. I told him, what we were doing. And
but you had eaten...
I'd eaten all the mushrooms were in my system at this time, yeah. So then my wife, she takes over and drives the rest of the way there.
Did you think about, like, making yourself puke?
I can't do that. I'm not a...
Like, I would worry about... I'd die. I guess I don't know. Can you overdose on mushrooms?
You'd have to go.
You can wish you didn't do it.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there before.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So we drive back. We make it to Houston, and it's by the time we get there, it's like pouring down rain. I'm like digging a grave for my dog, and I'm like peeking on mushrooms as this is happening. And I guess. The point of the story is vote. I guess that's the point of the story.
Yeah, legalize. The last time I ate mushrooms, I thought I was going to be okay. I was like, because I ate them a lot as a kid. I remember I ate a bunch of mushrooms by myself, and I had such a panic attack. This was when I was battling drugs. I went home and smoked meth to calm down. That's how bad that trip was.
You guys are awesome, man.
Confidently say I've never heard anyone say I smoke meth to calm down.
Yeah, I was having I almost knew who I was for a second. I had to go home and stop
can't have that.
Yeah.
Everybody check out Lawrence and Vinnie everywhere, and it's in our show notes, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you.
Thanks, Dan.
Lawrence and Vinnie.
Adios, mofo.